seconds into the match, he hit him with a hard right deep sprawl. He's got that neck. He's out.
I see.
He completely
that was amazing.
choked.
Listen to the crowd here at Stage AE. The crowd comes to life here because this is Dempsey who guard. He's probably more or less just using her as a ticket.
Welcome, fight fans. We're here live at the beautiful Stage AE in the North Shore in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for Gladiators of the Cage 21. I'm Charlie Smith, and with me, my broadcast partners, Richard Schleihoff and Dan the Brain Bogan. We have an exciting lineup of fights for you tonight, but before we get into that, let's check out the historic Gladiators of the Cage 20 highlights right now. It started off with a chaotic evening and didn't stop there. March 19th, 2016 was Gladiators of the Cage 20th show. Andrew Santos and Justin Joseph. This was an amateur bout, and these guys came to bring it. Crazy ground and pound action and a fierce competitive nature, but it got a little too fierce. Was the first match went into a disqualification with an illegal strike to the head. It kind of set the tone for the evening of fights. Cameron Chisholm and Sean Whitebread White in a battle. These guys held nothing back. It was an epic slugfest back and forth the whole time. Round two really started it opening up as Whitebread gets tagged by a crazy flying Superman punch by Chisholm, and then the referee stops it with an illegal hit. The fight goes on. White fights back in the battle and goes on to eke out a unanimous decision victory. Both men very game, and I'm sure are going to be back on the big card very, very soon. Jonas Rubiano and Edward Massey. Massey controlled the first round of the fights, but in round two, Rubiano showed the great technique and skill and clips Massey, and he knew he rocked him. He went in for the finish. Rubiano explodes and gets the great victory, earning himself his title shot at Gladiators of the Cage 21. Joseph Angelo and Elijah Foley go to battle. Back and forth. Round two really saw the fight open up. It was back and forth. Angelo coming in hard. Foley coming back the other way, getting great cage control, and it turned into an all-out slugfest. Both men standing there raining down big shots. But in the end, Angelo's going to win the unanimous decision. In one of the fights of the evening, Brandon Saylor versus Corey Alexander. These guys did everything in this fight. We saw technical striking, wonderful groundwork, beautiful takedowns, cage control, near submissions. This fight had everything. It was so hard to pick the winner of this fight. When it looked like the fight was finally over, the deep rear naked choke by Saylor, somehow Alexander would not tap. He kept fighting. Saylor both hooks in. Alexander, being the gladiator he is, refusing to quit, finds his way back on top and getting out. Back and forth the whole time, deep into the third round. It looked like we may have a submission, great takedowns, but in the end, Brandon Saylor wins a razor-sharp split decision and has all the Gladiators fans wanting that rematch. Brett Showtime Showfelt takes on the ever-game Eric Addard, and this fight was a war. Schoenfeld got in some deep water early, but showed a great combination of punches and kicks, knees, and put on a great display showing his depths of MMA skills. Round one was exciting, but it went to the unanimous decision with Schoenfeld taking over. Bellator veteran Louis Rumsey come out strong, but Robert Morrow come out stronger, throwing heavy hands and giant power, taking out Rumsey. Morrow, with that big KO win over veteran Rumsey, earns his title fight tonight at Gladiators of the Cage 21. Kakuta and Steele taking it to the main event. Kakuta looking razor sharp early, but Isaac Steele dragging him to the ground. Isaac Steele, a master on the ground, getting the full mount position. And look at some of this power Steele throws from the mounted position. Kakuta, the seasoned veteran, working back and forth, covering up as well as he can, but no way was he going to tap. Steele said, I will just keep raining down the pain. Kakuta, ever game, fights this the whole second half of the first round. Chip Snyder watching the fight very, very closely as it goes into the final stages. lets him go to the end of the first round, but early in the second round it would see more of the same, and Isaac Steele would finish it out, rounding out the fight and beating an ever-game Dan Kikuta in maybe Isaac Steele's biggest victory to yet of his career. Wow, fight fans, what a great lineup of fights that we had last time, and boy, I can't wait for the fights tonight. We've got 10 fights right now tonight that we're going to be privileged to watch. 8 of them professional, only 2 amateurs, and then we also have 3 title fights and a co-main event and a main event of the evening, and the return of Chris Dempsey. I can't wait for this one, guys, but why don't we just go right to it, and let's get down to the action to our ring announcer, Frank Murchie.
Check 1, 2. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? How is everybody tonight? Come on, let me hear you, folks. How are you doing this evening? That's what I wanted to hear. This is the Gladiators of the Cage 21. We are at Stage AE on the North Shore of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's right. It's Holt versus Pope. I am your ring announcer, or your cage announcer, as you'll have it, Frank Murchie. Welcome to the event. At this time, I'd like to make a couple special announcements for you folks. If I can have your attention, it's come to our attention that a very special young man by the name of Dawson Jacob Messler, he lost his life tragically at the age of 16 years old. He lost his life drowning, saving the lives of other people, friends, families, neighbors. He saved 2 people. He went back in for the 3rd and for others and did not return. Dawson Jacob Messler lost his life again at 16 years old. Friends and family, and we're involved with that, put together a GoFundMe page. And you can find that on our Facebook page, Gladiators of the Cage. On Facebook, we'll have all the information. If you'd make a kind donation of any sort, it would really, really help. So thank you very much. That's Dawson Jacob Messler. At this time, if I can have you please rise and remove your hats. It's now time for the singing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, our anthem singer tonight, Miss Jenna Joseph. Jenna Joseph. Please remain standing, folks. If I can ask you to please remain standing. As you all know, late last night, we lost a hero, a legend, an icon, a man who transcended sports, changed the way people looked at things, the way people fought for their rights. He was so charismatic, he changed the way we covered athletes and entertainers. He is on the Mount Rushmore of everything. If you can remain silent, please, for a special 10-bell moment of silence for the greatest, Muhammad Ali. Thank you. Ali Boumbaye, Ali Boumbaye, Ali Boumbaye. A legend has passed. Are you ready for the Gladiator of the Cage 21? Holt versus Pope. Our commissioner at ringside, Rick Steigerwald. Our officials for tonight, our judges, Todd Kruska, Kevin Armstrong, Andrew Atkins, Paul Reininger. Our referee, Chip Snyder. Our timekeeper at the bell, Stephen Kruth. There he is, my man Stephen. Physician at ringside, Dr. Lawrence Biskin. This is our first bout of the night. It's an amateur bout. It is 3 2-minute rounds in the light heavyweight division, which is 155 pounds. Let's bring into the blue corner, Dylan Youngblood.
Rich, we got two guys that only have one appearance in the cage so far. Dylan Youngblood and Vincent Ming. We've seen both of these guys before. Dylan actually made his debut. You had a chance to talk to both of these fighters. Why don't you give us and the fans a little bit of insight on these guys?
Well, Vincent Ming, trains out of Stout Training, Pittsburgh. He's coming off a win. His last fight was Gladiators of the Cage 17, which is nearly 1 year ago. He won by a very close split decision. He's going against Dylan Youngblood. He also fights out of PA. He's coming off a loss. Unfortunately, his last fight was...
Let's bring into the red corner to my right, Vincent Ming.
He's coming off a loss. He's 0-1. He's age 22. His last fight was for Pinnacle in November. So he's a little bit fresher than Vincent Ming.
Excellent. This should be a really good matchup, Rich. I've kind of been looking forward to this one here. I know we want to welcome Dan Bogan with us also this evening. Dan, it's great to have you on board here.
I appreciate you guys having me up here. It's an honor and a privilege working with such two handsome beasts as yourselves, and now you look even better looking with me up here. And I just want to know what you did wrong to get punished by having me have to suffer with me this evening. But I do thank you. I'm going to do my best to be an asset with you guys tonight.
Well, we're glad to have you, Dan. And you know, you bring a lot of knowledge to the sport, and you also, it's really interesting. I know you get a lot of social media and you talk and you see a lot of the fight scene on the other side as the fans see it. And it's really good to have you on the perspective of what's going on, because you know a lot of the underground and have been with Gladiators of the Cage now since...
I was the very first event. I've been announcing with them from the very first time except this time. And I believe the next event I'm going to have to buy a ticket to. But anyway, all things are good. Things are looking great for Gladiators of the Cage. They're moving up. It's a pleasure to be involved in any capacity. And I'm going to try to look at things as a casual fan and ask the questions to you guys who know more about the physical, the fight aspect of it. And why does that hurt? What does that hurt? Try to, what would a casual fan be looking at and want to know? And try to look at it from their point of view.
Awesome stuff.
These bouts are approved and sanctioned by the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission. In the blue corner, 5'8", 145 with a record of 1-0. Ladies and gentlemen, Dylan Youngblood. In the red corner to my right, with a height of 5'9", weighing in at 146 pounds, a record of 1-0, fighting out of Stout Training in Pittsburgh, Vincent Ming.
On this side for me. Get on this side. There you go. Gentlemen, we went over the rules in the back. I expect you to bathe them in me at all times. I expect a clean, fair fight. Any questions, red? Any questions, blue? Touch gloves, go back to your corners.
Well, we're getting set up here for our first fight of the night. Chip Snyder, We love Chip Snyder. He's the best referee in the business in our
Come
area,
on,
that's for certain.
If
And
not the world, Chip is an awesome referee.
he's a phenomenal person and an excellent martial artist himself. And he's always so kind to do seminars and so forth and help younger fighters. But here we go. We got Dylan Youngblood and Vincent Ming going to town. Vincent landing a nice shot early and making his presence known quick, Rich.
He's doing a very good job keeping his distance with his kicks. With stout training, I'm sure he's very dominant on the ground also.
Well, it also helps to have a great training partner like Jonas Rubiano, who's fighting for a title in the next fight coming up. So a great group of guys down there, and they really mix up their game. Ming doing a really good job getting some cage control, tying up high on the body. I like how he's utilizing the knees there. In an amateur fight, you really got to take advantage of every different position because you're not allowed to do everything that the pros can. So when you are standing, you want to maximize those.
Well, Dylan did a very nice job of turning him around the corner and switching positions and getting his back against the cage.
There are a lot of amateur fighters that are upset about the Pennsylvania rules and go to other states because of that. But I think really safety's got to be first. Small steps at a time.
I agree. I think the Athletic Commission wants fighters to have careers rather than
long, if they wish to have long-term careers. And I got to say, a lot of the fighters out of the stout training Henzo Gracie team, it's a very successful fight team over the years.
Yeah. Ming's doing an excellent job of cage control here. He's working knees. Those add up. It may look like they're just barely grazing. Very, very good job, Dylan Youngblood, stopping that takedown. It's going to be interesting to see now what he can do. Remember, there's no ground and pound here, so Youngblood cannot hit him in the head. He's just got to work the body and look for submissions. Ming very versed in submissions. He's not going to keep taking those hammer fists to the ribs. It's forcing his opponent up. Now let's see if Dylan's going to look for something in the transition here, maybe an armbar.
In this position, Ming really needs to try to back up a little bit, try to shoot for one leg, and just trap that leg and try to turn the corner.
Short time, gentlemen.
Once again, there you go. You hear the 10-second clicker. In these amateur bouts, they go rather fast, so you see a faster pace in these matches. Ming with a very late takedown, and that may just have won him and secured him that first round. Back and forth battle. I don't know, Dan, what do you see there as the casual fan? What are you seeing? Who do you think won that first round?
I wouldn't want to be a judge. I would go with slightly Meng, but again, I would not want to be a judge. And they look for different things than the fans do. There's subtle things they don't know the difference. And a lot of fans also might not realize the amateur fighters also have the shin guards. You won't see that during the pro fights.
Yeah, I'm really a big fan. You know, if you would have asked me 10 or 15 years ago my thoughts on the rules in Pennsylvania compared to other states, say Ohio, our neighbor, you know, going into full MMA with elbows and ground and pound and so forth on the ground, I probably would have said I'm going to Ohio. But as I matured, not only as a person but as a fighter, I realized something. These guys are working full-time jobs. They're training on this side.
As amateurs, yes.
They don't need to take this abuse to their body. It gives you the platform to build your skill, build your level, to take it to the next step where you can start making some resources
and
from
we're
it.
learning a lot about concussions as time goes on, especially in the last few years in other sports. And this, last thing we need is something fatal or you know, bad for the sport. So I agree with you. Earlier, it's like, I was in favor of it to be like the Ohio rules, but now
it makes a lot of sense. And you know, Pennsylvania regulates it very well. Well, we're here ready for round number 2. Ming comes out with a big right hand, lands it. Let's see if he's going to follow up. That really woke Youngblood up.
It's a Greco-Roman knuckle sandwich.
Ming's keeping himself very poised. I would expect him to go in, but it seemed Youngblood maybe slipped a little bit, recovered very fast.
Well, Ming's doing a nice job. He's utilizing those kicks very well. And I'm sure Mike Wilkins in Vincent Ming's corner was telling him, keep your distance, use your kicks.
Not that it matters much, but there is a slight difference in the gloves from amateur to professional MMA gloves, where the professionals are only 4 ounces, and amateur actually is 6 ounces. Was 2 ounces really going to make that much of a difference? Probably not that much, but Ming's really thrown some nice punches. I like how he's thrown 1-2s, and he's not just leaving it 1. He's changing levels. He's making Youngblood think. If Dylan wants to get this fight going, he's got to start pressing the pace and taking some chances.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Now, I felt boxing gloves. These open finger gloves, they're a lot stiffer. They're harder. They're firmer. Boxing gloves feel more padded to me. Or correct me if I'm wrong, but the ones I felt, these are like being hit with knuckles. You know?
Yeah, especially with promotions. A lot of times they get newer gloves, and often
they're stiff.
There's also sometimes they get gloves that are worn in.
Yeah.
You know, so it all depends on which glove, the stiffer it is. I know fighters, they like a more worn-in glove.
Yeah. Right. Ming with another overhand right. He's dictating the pace. He's pushing Youngblood back. Ming has kind of seemed to go away from the kicking here a little bit and focusing on the striking. He seemed to find the rhythm, and he's got good head movement here. Youngblood's kind of hanging out. Looks like he's trying to pick his shot, but Ming ever so persistent, staying in the face of Youngblood. Youngblood wings another punch.
Ming's
once
really
again,
pushing. He's really pushing the pace, backing Dylan up, and that's going to win him the round.
Yeah, if it keeps it up, it's definitely going to win him the fight. I'd really like to see Youngblood change this up. Here's the 10-second clicker. Let's see what happens.
I think Dylan still rocked after that overhand right from the beginning of the round, just a little bit.
Yep, I love how Ming's starting to throw those kicks back in. Great job. Great job by Ming to control that. Youngblood throwing some good punches there, but you can see his face is paying the price of those strikes by Ming, and they're going to add up.
Now, in Dylan's corner, what would you be telling him right now to change the pace of this fight?
You know what? You've got to get more aggressive. You're letting Ming push you backwards. You've got to work lateral. You've got to step off, and you've got to make sure you catch him and wing him with something. Don't stay in his face, and if you do, push him back. Get that front teeth, get that kick to the body, and push Ming back and dictate the pace of this fight and counterpunch.
Seems
Do you
to have
think
been a
Ming
lot of
should do
stand-up in
this-
this fight, though. There's not been a whole lot of ground game either. I'm sorry.
Both seem to be content standing up, yeah.
Do you think Ming should do the same thing he just did last round?
It's working for you. You know, let's not get over-aggressive, though. Hey, it looks like you're up 2. If I'm in his corner, I'm saying, look, you definitely got the second round. There's a good chance you have that first one, but don't stay out here flat on your feet. Don't move backwards. Do what's working for you. Stay in his face and keep the hands going, because really, Youngblood hasn't had a counter.
You know, you never know. You never want to leave it in the hands of the judges, but sometimes that's just the way it goes. But I'm going to see
Last
Vincent
round,
Ming
you
coming
ready?
out pushing the
Last
pace
round,
just
you
like
ready?
last
Come
time.
on, let's
Dylan
finish
really
it.
needs to put the pressure on to win him this round.
And you know the amazing thing here, Ming only has one fight. It was a very close fight. A lot of people thought he may have lost the fight. Very close decision. I was there. He won that fight, and he's had a year layoff, had some problems getting some fights, but guess what? He's training every day with killers who are fighting. So don't let that record fool you. He is very, very seasoned in his young
That's
career.
not a situation where there's any cage rest, so to speak. Just because he hasn't fought a fight, he's still been fighting as though he had one coming up all the time. No cage rest on Ming.
Absolutely, exactly right. He's keeping all these guys in title contention ready constantly, so he's ready. Youngblood is doing something smart here. He's kind of controlling the pace of the fight, but if he's just trying to eke out one round, that could be dangerous. I think he really needs to get a little more aggressive and get this fight either to the ground and look for the submission or try to finish this fight.
He needs to look for a takedown at this point and try to get on top, trying to get in dominant position to finish this last minute of the fight.
Yep.
Remember, with amateur, it's only 2-minute rounds, so you don't have that much time.
Well, these guys at Renzo Gracie Pittsburgh are so good, and training under Stout with his extensive wrestling background to try to take one of these guys down and keep them on their back.
Easier said than done.
Exactly, Dan. You're exactly right.
Now, Vincent Ming, how important is it to use your head against the cage?
You know what, Rich, in training and getting on the technical side, if you can get your head under your opponent's shin, you have so much cage control. You keep it out of danger and you straighten your opponent up. It gives you a chance to change levels and get a takedown and work the body a lot more.
Take that foundation out.
Take it, exactly. Go down, take that out. Youngblood throwing some ill-fated kicks, not landing. Ming with a nice teep there.
Ming's doing a very nice job utilizing kicks.
Yep. Ming, throughout this fight, has controlled the
nice
pace.
leg kick.
Nice chopping leg kick by Ming. 10 seconds left here in the first
nice
round.
overhand right.
The first fight, of the last round of our amateur bout between Dylan Youngblood and Vincent Ming. And it's going the distance. Good matchup. Remember, these guys had a total of 2 fights, one each. You know, so look, I mean, what an excellent fight. We're not used to seeing a lot of the techniques and the mixing up of strikes and punches to kicks. Normally that what we'd be seeing, Rich, on 2 fighters that only had 1 fight. Really good job by both guys. When I look at MMA now, and I see a guy who's 1-0 and another guy who's 0-1, and they come in there and put on a performance like that, where they're not just gunslinging and taking wild strikes, but they're calculated, they're mixing up from high to low, punches to kicks, takedowns. I'm very impressed with MMA in the Pittsburgh area and the surrounding areas. And Gladiators of the Cage, you can find the absolute best amateurs with 0-1 and 1-0 records out there.
You can't say it. That was our first fight of the night.
Yeah, both putting on a great performance.
I mean, with a show like that, it just shows you how much we got looking forward to.
Oh yeah, and it's all uphill. I think from here as the rounds get longer, the skill gets deeper. And man, we have 3 title fights this evening and 1 coming up after this decision here. And man, I can't wait. Also tonight, we have the return of UFC veteran Chris Dempsey, Rich.
Don't forget, Gladiators of the Cage veteran, where he started.
Precisely. And he has flown that flag the whole way up the ranks. We're glad to have him back. What an ambassador for the sport.
He never forgot where he came from, and that's what I really, really like about him.
You know, there's a story behind every fight, and there's a story behind every fighter, Rich. And if you would get to know Chris Dempsey as a person, it's really a pleasure. He's a great human being. He's very, very well respected in his community, and he's very loyal and faithful to all those that he works with, and it's an absolute pleasure getting to work with him. We're glad to have him back, and we're going to see him rise again to the top very shortly, but he has a tough test in front of him tonight with 6-1 Adam Hunter. Let's go down to our judges and our ring announcer for the decision. Frank Murgy with our decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2 judges score the fight 30-27. Our 3rd judge scores the fight 29-28. For winner by unanimous decision in the red corner, Vincent Meng. Going to turn it over to Dan Bogan.
Thank you, sir. Vince, you're on your way to start the Meng Dynasty. Congratulations. A lot of stand-up. Didn't take it to the ground too much. Is that how you planned it, sir?
Yeah, normally.
Okay, who do you want to thank? That stout training Henzo Gracie team is a dominant team. You got some people to thank, sir.
I gotta thank Mike Wilkins, my coaches, Warren Stout, Will Morrill, David Reese, all my training partners that helped me through and my wife, because I fought here a year ago on her birthday. It's been almost a year since. Thank her.
Congratulations to you, Vince. Back to you, Charlie and Rich.
What a way to start off the evening. A great fight. Ming obviously getting the unanimous decision. I didn't see it any other way, Rich. I don't know about you, but it seemed like the right call.
I completely agree. He pushed the pace. He used his kicks. He did very well. He stuffed takedowns, and he was able to take advantage of it.
Great. Let's go to our first break of the evening before we get into our second amateur title fight of the evening.
Under 1200, 04 model, 11 and 1200 down to 11, 12, give 11 and a half, 1150, $1,150, yes, 1150 down to 1100 down to 50, 1100.
Here at 422, we offer the public an opportunity to buy vehicles at auction prices. We sell all types of vehicles at the auction: cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, motorcycles, quads, golf carts. If it's got tires, we sell it.
Live fight fans, and we're ready for our second bout of the evening. It's our second amateur fight and last amateur fight of the evening, and this one's a title fight. Jonas Rubiano, who you saw with a stellar performance, gets his title shot. But before we go in depth on this, let's take a look at the tail of the tape. The tail of the tape this evening, the man of the hour, Jonas Rubiano, hometown boy looking to take this. He's 31 years old, he's 5'9". He weighs in at 135 pounds with a record of 4-2. He goes against the ever tough Cody Riggs, who's 4-2. He's 135 pounds, he's 5'10", and he's just 23 years old. This has the makings of a stellar fight. I'm really looking forward to this one, so why wait? Let's go down to Frank Murgy for our official introduction of the fighters.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you having a good time? How about that first round of action? Let me hear it, folks. I want to thank you all for attending Gladiators of the Cage here at Stage AE. This bout is an advanced level amateur bout, 3 3-minute rounds. Let's bring our fighters to the cage. How about the blue corner? Let's bring in Cody Riggs.
Cody Riggs making his way into the Gladiators of the Cage. He's 4-2. Rich, we're going to get in now to what we call the advanced amateur rules in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and in all the state of Pennsylvania. Once again, going back, we like this idea. Tell us a little bit, if you could. We'll try to get it put up on the screen here for us, the advanced amateur rules.
Advanced amateur rules, there is no shin protection. As you just saw last fight, they had shin protection on. There is ground and pound allowed. And now, you've seen how quick the fights were last fight. Now it's boosted up to three-minute rounds, so they got a little more time to work and figure out what their game plan is. They're not as rushed as much.
Now, Dan, as a fight fan yourself and getting to talk with a lot of the fans here, you interact very well with the community of MMA. What is their thoughts as far, do they ask you a lot or say, hey, why are these guys not hitting on the ground? And what seems to be the biggest misconception maybe?
The biggest is when the amateurs are on the ground, people want to yell and scream, hit him in the head, hit him in the head. I think it's second nature. After you watch the pros and everything, you just assume, why isn't he punching him in the head? Why isn't he putting elbows or anything to the guy's face? You got to remember, it's amateur.
Right back down to our ring announcer, Frank Murgy.
Ladies and gentlemen, calling out to the red corner, the corner to my right, let's bring into the cage, Jonas Rubiano.
This place is about to explode. Jonas Rubiano, Pittsburgh native, stout training, Renzo Gracie, great personality, love talking to this kid. We've actually had mutual friends that actually fought against Jonas, and man, put up a great fight. Jonas is always improving and always impressing me, Rich.
What I've noticed is Jonas always wears that pirate hoodie coming in. He's a big pirate fan. He loves the sport. And getting to Jonas, his nickname is Flip Mode.
Flip Mode, and he
now,
likes
if
to
anybody wants
switch
to
that
know
on.
what Flip Mode is, you just turn it off and turn it on.
I don't know if you remember his last fight. He pretty much was on the losing side of the first round. Second round, he flipped that Flip Mode on, and it changed that story real quick.
You know what?
Second round TKO.
And that's something that gets even difficult to ingrain in fighters. And training people in the past, some guys do it and some guys don't. You really have to get that instilled. We call in the gym smelling that blood in the water. When you know you got a guy hurt, you got to go in like a shark and you got to finish. And Jonas, once again, like you said, Dan, losing that first round and coming back and just domination and takes out his opponent. And that right there is why he's fighting for the title tonight.
I've never seen Cody Riggs before. He's new to me, but I understand at a young age he's still pretty much a journeyman, and he does have stopping power. So if I were Jonas, I would not lay down on that. Not that he laid down, but I wouldn't spend too much time trying to feel out Cody Riggs. Just new to see what he's like firsthand, though.
Well, Cody Riggs' first 4 amateur fights he won via TKO.
There you go.
So he does have stopping power. He knows how to finish.
This is going to be a good one.
Yep. For the 135-pound amateur title in Gladiators of the Cage, back to Frank Murgy for the official introductions of the fighters.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is an advanced level amateur bout. 3 3-minute rounds. 135-pound bantamweight division for the vacant Gladiators of the Cage belts. It is a title fight. And in our blue corner.
Okay.
Oh, here's our girl. How about our lovely ring girls first? I think we can hold on to blue corner. Jessica and Emily. Again, this is a vacant title. The belt is up for grabs. 135-pound bantamweight division. Thank you, Jessica and Emily. In the blue corner to my left, 5'10", weighing in at 135 pounds with a record of 4-2, fighting out of Vision MMA. From Dayton, Ohio, Cody Riggs. In the red corner, 5'9", weighing in at 135 pounds. With a record of 4-2, fighting out of stout training, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Jonas Flipmode Rubiano.
Okay, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the back. You guys are advanced amateurs, so there's ground and pound. I want you guys to obey me and the rules at all time. Any questions, red?
No.
Any questions, blue?
No.
Tusk, let's go back. Sir, you ready? Sir, you ready? Come on, let's bang.
This second fight is brought to you by Rock School Pittsburgh. Rock School Pittsburgh, we bring the noise.
Here we go, we're underway. They're just feeling each other out. Remember, Cody Riggs is a dangerous fighter. He might be coming off of 2 losses, but he knows how to finish.
They're coming out swinging fast, and you know what? Couldn't be more evenly matched. Size-wise, both got 4-2 records, and they got that lanky reach. Rich, how hard is it to deal with that?
You know what? Being a shorter, stockier guy
look
fighting.
at him go.
Oh, here we go.
And the fireworks started quick. Rubiano just throwing, and Cody getting right back in the face.
Cody's, hey, he's standing straight up with him. He's not afraid to get hit.
Cody looking to close the distance, and he's got Rubiano against the cage. Rubiano, time and time again, has proven how hard he is to take down. Look how Rubiano actually went down to 1 knee to prevent the takedown. Very interesting to note. He actually went down to 1 knee to keep his hip spread wide.
Changes the center of gravity a little bit, makes it hard. What are you going to do with the weight that far in front of you?
Absolutely, and look at Rubiano's right hand. Look how he keeps control of the left arm of Riggs. That's so he can't get those ankle picks and reach down and pull the legs out from under him, Dan.
With his arm under your armpit, like how can you reach back to throw a punch, or even just throw a punch from
exactly
right in front of you?
Exactly. Very, very good job of Riggs getting Rubiano down. That is no easy task, Rich.
No, it's not. And as you see, he landed right inside control. There's no mess around guards. You don't want to mess with Jonas in his guard. He is a blue belt in BJJ under style training. And I know style training, very, very, very good jiu-jitsu.
Absolutely, and they bring in some of the best fighters in the world, as they recently did this past weekend, bringing in Gary Tonin for a great submission expo. And man, what a guy! What a tremendous.
Man, he's a sight to see.
Man, he's awesome.
I get a lot of questions from like parents that have their children that want to get into MMA. Where do we train them? Watch these fights and listen to the fight clubs they train at. All of these clubs take on beginners. They're all reasonably priced, and they're all very good.
Jonas did a good job. He's in a triangle.
He's got a good job of posturing by Riggs. He cannot let Jonas's left ankle get under Jonas's own right knee. There's what I'm talking about.
That could be it.
This triangle's tight.
He's just going to turn the corner. He might get a straight arm bar.
Oh, he's got the head pulling it down. This is super deep. Riggs got to get out of here soon. Rubiano's now trying to fish under and get a leg to roll him through. He's got the ankle.
It's a matter of time.
He's got the 45. He's close.
Riggs is doing a nice job holding it still. He's posturing up, getting his hips underneath of him.
Riggs is doing a phenomenal job stacking in there, but I don't know how long he can handle. There's Rubiano hooking the leg.
This has to be tight.
He's going. It's close. He's almost out.
He might be out. Oh, nice job.
I can't believe Riggs is still holding on there.
What intestinal fortitude.
Unbelievable, Dan.
He's still throwing punches.
Jonas is going for an arm bar now.
Switched it to the arm bar
now. 10 seconds. Can he hold on?
Rubiano looking to finish with the armbar for the title.
What an incredible battle.
I can't believe that Gotc, he made it.
What a first round.
That was an incredible battle by Cody Riggs.
What was more impressive? The submission abilities and attempts by Jonas, or the defense by Riggs not getting tapped?
How many potential submissions did he have while he was down there? He just went from one to another and back and forth.
And how much energy and emotion did he spend? Anytime you put on a submission, anyone who's trained, you get excited at that moment and you tense up and you stop your breathing. What's interesting?
Squeezing a watermelon. After 30 seconds, you're tired. Your arms are tired.
I don't squeeze a lot of watermelons, but I've squeezed a lot
of people.
You should
try it. It's amazing.
But definitely, it's going to be very, very interesting to see. This could turn because actually Riggs got a beautiful takedown, was able to get side control. Riggs did a great job fighting for mount, but it shows Rubiano's incredible ground game from Renzo Gracie School. Is able to get back out, throw on a triangle that's nasty, transition to an armbar. It looked like Riggs was going to tap 2 different times, gets out, and now we're going to see how fresh these are. And look, Rubiano's already bending at the waist, grabbing his knees. I think he's taking a couple deep breaths, guys.
Throwing submissions on tires you out more than anything, but Cody Riggs had to hold on. His air had to have been cut off for a long amount of time.
What composure by a young fighter. Remember, these are amateurs, Rich.
No, when you had your air cut off, when you get your air back again, do you feel like a rush of energy because you're getting your oxygen back, or does this bring you back to normal?
Well, get your heart rate up just by your body trying to react, but oxygen's getting cut off, so it's just the heart's beating faster and faster and faster.
And it's not only that, it's the adrenaline dump. It's that adrenaline dump. And did he have an adrenaline dump? It doesn't matter if you're the best conditioned athlete in the world and can run marathons. If you have an adrenaline dump, it's over. And it looks like Rubiano's sucking air. I'm not saying that's what happened, but he definitely broke his breathing rhythm while trying for those submissions.
Would it be like we're putting a car against a brick wall and flooring the gas pedal?
Exactly, because you're exerting all that energy to accomplish something, and you're not breathing.
Right.
And that all of a sudden, then wow, it's just now the round's over. You didn't get the submission, and Riggs controlling the pace of the fight. You see Jonas when they was on the stand-up a little more flat-footed, and Riggs now he's got to push the pace and work those big knees and elbows up against the cage and punches.
It looks like the submission that Jonas threw on took more of a toll on Jonas than it did Cody Riggs. Cody Riggs is pushing the pace. He's pushing against the fence.
He can't elbow to the head in advanced amateur, but he can elbow to the body.
That's correct.
Well, is he working
Jonas,
is that a guillotine he's working on?
He's working on a guillotine. Riggs is doing a very good job staying high, and he doesn't have an arm through. What Riggs needs to do is get his right arm in between Jonas's left arm and his body to really stop that. Now this is deep. This is a variation, but he's inside control, so it's almost impossible to hit this choke. Riggs doing a phenomenal job. That's still really, really tight.
Look how red his face is.
Yep. If Jonas can, no, you let it go. Remember, they're starting to get sweaty. This is where the sweat becomes a factor in your fight also.
Was there a point where, as you fatigue, you realize you're not doing as much damage as you were doing earlier when you had to hold on?
Yes.
So you said, I'll abandon it and try for something else.
Yep.
And a lot of times you'll see, especially an amateur fighter, and this is what's so impressive about these guys. These guys on our amateur card could go to a lot of places in other states and win titles in professional levels. This is very high level of fighting that we're getting to see. And remember, these are the amateurs. We got 8 professional fights after this, and this is for the title right now, guys.
The Pittsburgh I'm sorry?
Jonas is going for an armbar here. He's very active in his guard, and that's a good thing. He's always keeping his hips moving, keeping Cody Riggs guessing. Right now, Cody Riggs isn't capitalizing too much. He needs to try to pass this guard. How would you pass the guard in this against the fence?
Well, it's a very good job. You can see Riggs got him squared up and got his head. I personally would try to get up or use my left foot or right foot if I'm Rubiano and push it up against the cage and try to spin around.
You want to stay there.
He's really got his head pushed up against the cage, so it kind of stalemates the submission ability from the bottom of Rubiano. And now with 10 seconds left, you may just want to wait it out and not waste that energy. But the thing is, how much energy does Rubiano have? If he could have got there on one hip and pushed it up against the cage, he could have fought to get up. But maybe Rubiano is just conserving a little and saying, I got to get my breath back, and I'm going to come out in the third and try to finish this guy.
Wow. Before I forget, our general manager of Gladiators of the Cage, Scott Benton, celebrating a birthday today. Want to wish Scott a happy birthday. Scott's the kind of guy you shake his hand, you count your fingers when you get your hand back if you get it back. So I want to wish Scott a very happy birthday. Happy birthday, Scott.
Happy birthday, Scott. Thank you for all your hard work and what you do.
He's one of the matchmakers, and hey, with this fight card, they're doing an outstanding job, event after event after event.
Scott is the man behind the scenes and maybe doesn't get a lot of credit for a lot of things. And we love to dog on him, and he loves to dog on us. But, you know, it's all in that friendship and fun and mutual respect. Happy birthday, Scott. We wish you the best one ever, and hopefully many more.
Now, if you were in Jonas Rubiano's corner, what would you be saying?
You know what? I'm telling Jonas, this is your round. You need to win this. You didn't win that round definitive, and that first round, depending on how astute the judges are to submissions, they may have thought you wasn't close to anything. You might be down. This is make it or break it. This is what you train for. This is the third round. This is for the title. Don't stay back on your heels. Win this fight. Suck it up.
Anytime you can avoid going to the judges, take it.
Take it. Man up and put your best show on, because this one's for the gold.
We're going to see if Jonas could use his jab, try to get it inside. He needs to get on top in this one, and he needs to land some big punches.
Very good job of Riggs counter-punching, keeping his hands up high. Notice Jonas is on his back foot, but now he's coming in. Now he's starting to throw. Jonas is dangerous from here.
Jonas is doing a nice job throwing punches.
He landed on that one.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
There's a lot of arm punches coming here. I'd like to see Jonas get his hips behind it. Good change up of the body, going to the liver.
He's doing a nice
job. He knocked out.
He's down. It's over.
Jonas Rubiano has won the 135-pound Gladiators of the Cage Championship.
For nothing.
What an impressive performance by Jonas Rubiano.
Then again, he comes back at the end. Flips the switch. He just starts raining down punches. That was a completely different round compared to the second round.
Unbelievable. His punches looked a little slow coming in. More arm punches. But he did exactly what we talked about. He stepped up. He manned up. You can tell he's tired. He gutted it out. And what a stellar performance for the new champion at 135 pounds, Jonas Rubiano.
41
he caught
seconds.
Cody Riggs with his mouth open. Cody Riggs was still tired, and he just clipped him right in the jaw.
Let's see if we can get a replay up here. What an impressive performance.
He said 41.
Here we go.
Yes.
Jonas Rubiano starting to mix it up. Riggs seemingly okay with standing up against that cage, and then all of a sudden, Jonas starting to come in and look at that body shot. It changes up, and Riggs just leaves his left hand down, and watch this beautiful time shot with the right hand coming up. A back fist, and then watch this, right on the button. Riggs took all of that shot, and he was out before he hit the ground. Chip Snyder coming in. Wow, thank you.
Yes.
Oh.
What a great fight, back and forth. You can't ask for much better than that. That was a great title fight.
Wow. And these are amateurs, Rich. We have 8 professional fights coming up. Let's go down to Frank Murgy for the official announcement of the new Gladiators of the Cage champion.
Good fight. I let you stay in there as long as I could.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It was a good fight. It was a great fight.
we have a winner by knockout. 41 seconds in the 3rd round. In the red corner, and the new Gladiators of the Cage champion, Jonas Rubiano! Jessica and Emily,
Thank you, sir. Anytime, brother.
crown our new champion. We're going to turn it over to Dan Bogan for our interview.
Thank you, Pittsburgh Sportsline Hall of Famer Frank Murgy. Jonas, flip mode, Rubiano. The first 2 rounds looked like you were going for a submission. Decided I've had enough of that. I'm gonna knock him out.
Hey, he was Bluegrass '1 ranked, so he definitely earned that spot, man. But you know,
Sir.
It's my city, baby.
He held on. He withstood a lot of close finishing moves from you in the first round. A great debut for Gladiators of the Cage from him. Who do you want to thank? It's 2-0 for stout training, Renzo Gracie.
Hey, I got a couple people to thank. I'm gonna do it real quick. Mike Ward, crew, y'all got me ready for this. Thank you very much. Everyone down at Henzo's, teamwork makes the dream work. Will got my weight right. My mom brought some food, and my wife held me down, man. Thank you, Jamie. I love you.
Let's hear it for Jonas, flip mode, Rubiano! Charlie and Rich, back to you, gentlemen.
We want to thank Maestro's Barbershop for the great replays, Rich. What a stellar fight. That wraps up our amateur fights of the evening. Only 2 tonight. What do you think about Rubiano's performance and the ever-game Cody Riggs?
I think he did a fabulous job. Jonas Rubiano showed heart. He showed what it took to be a champion. I'm not taking anything away from Cody Riggs. He fought a tough fight, and in the first 2 rounds, it could have went either way. We don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Great fight. He gutted it out, he hearted it out, and laid it on. Congratulations, Jonas Rubiano, our 135-pound champion. That's all of our amateur fights. So now we're ready to start our 8 professional fights. But before we do that, let's pay the sponsors, let's get them on, and then we'll be right back with the tail of the tape and our advanced professional fights now.
Professional fights.
Welcome to Maestro's Barbershop. We're the masters of the craft.
You know, it's kind of like a modern / classic feel. You know, we don't forget the old school barber feel, you know, with the straight razors.
We serve men, but if a woman wants to come in here and partake in this fine establishment, we're more than happy to serve them.
Oh, people love the atmosphere. Yeah, they hang out, they come up, you know, they relax, shoot a game of pool. You know, when men feel like they go to their barber, they want a chance to just relax.
There's not a haircut that comes in here that I can't do and nobody else on the staff can't do either. We do traditional haircuts, scissor cuts, clipper cuts, we do hot lather shaves, shampooing, styling. You name it, we do it all. We do even do a little bit of hair coloring also. And aside from the actual haircut, the atmosphere that we foster here is one of camaraderie.
We definitely feel like you should come on down and give us a shot. Maestro's Barbershop, masters of the craft. We feel like we're the best at what we do, and come down and get a shave, haircut, and just hang with the guys.
We are back and we're ready for professional action. Our amateurs lit it on fire, started it up tonight, and the Steel City is rocking. It may be hot outside, it's hotter inside tonight. Let's go to our first professional bout of the evening. Chase Roden's going to be taking on Ethan Gotc. Let's get the tail of the tape. Tail of the tape shows this way. Ethan Gotc, he's 24 years old. He's 5 foot 10 inches tall. He weighs in at 145 pounds. He has a professional record of 1-2. He's going up against Chase Roden, who's 28 years old. He's 6'2", 145 pounds, and he is making his professional debut here at Gladiators of the Cage. Should be a great fight, evenly matched. We can't wait to see this one, and I believe this is going to have fireworks right off the bat. So why wait? Let's go down to our ring announcer, Frank Murgy, and get this underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for our professional bouts. We have 8 professional bouts coming your way in this Gladiator of the Cage Hope vs. Hope event. This is going to be 3 5-minute rounds in 145-pound featherweight division, but let's get it started. Let's bring out to the blue corner, Chase Roden.
Rich, I love it when the music starts up and a fighter's ready to enter, because that means we're going to battle. And Chase Roden, is he ready? Making his debut.
Well, Chase Roden, he's coming off a 3-fight win streak via stoppage in his AMI career. I would say he's ready. Now, it's very odd. He's 6'2" at 145 pounds. Usually Ethan Gotc is the taller one out of the people he fights. It's a little bit different whenever the other guy's taller. He's just not just a little bit taller, he's a lot taller.
You know, we've talked about this so many times where it becomes height and reach or weight. I would much rather fight a heavier opponent than a taller opponent.
Is that because of reach or
Absolutely.
striking?
Yeah, you know, if you utilize that so well, you can keep the jabs and you can dictate the pace of the fight easier. It makes your opponent seem to work more. And then the submission game, you have those long limbs, you can really wrap around your opponent. So in MMA, it becomes a very important aspect. And it becomes quite a conundrum for a lot of fighters to get through.
Well, it's just hard to get inside with that tall reach. It's very, very hard.
Well,
and if you're at the end of someone's punches the whole time and you can't get inside, it's really hard for you to take advantage of anything.
Well, Ethan Gotc is a tough kid. He does like the brawl. Win or lose, puts on a great show. And his last opponent on this show, no show. That's how bad Ethan Gotc is. He just said, I'm not even going to show up.
Back down to Frank Murgy.
All right, folks, let's bring into the cage the opponent in the red corner, Ethan Gotc.
As we hear the music start up for Ethan Gotc, we want to take the time now, because we mentioned these are professional bouts now and everything changes, Rich. We got the professional rules up. Tell us some about it.
Okay, there is no shin protection, just like amateur advanced rules. Now, the rounds are 3 5-minute rounds. 5 minutes is a long time. These fighters got to really train just for these 5-minute rounds. Now, you are allowed to elbow and kick to the head, standing or on the ground.
Big difference. Huh?
Now, a big difference, you can knee to the head. Now, remember, there's 3 points of contact. If there's 3 points of contact, you are not able to you can't knee to the head while they're down.
Absolutely. And ground and pound's all legal now. So all legal on the ground and pound.
And it's kind of common sense, but think about getting hit standing up, your head recoils. When your head is on that cage floor, there's not a lot of give on that cage floor. It's like getting hit with your head on a sidewalk. There's nowhere for the head to recoil. It recoils in your skull.
That's exactly right.
Not a pleasant feeling, I can imagine.
Yeah, it's almost like a double hit. And it's the anvil effect, a lot of fighters call it, because your head is on that anvil and you're not moving, so you absorb double impact.
Yikes.
Well, Ethan Gotc, he's coming in. He is a warrior. He knows how to fight. He's coming off a win at the last King of the Cage show not too long ago. Now he's looking to get his second win as a professional.
I'm looking forward to this fight this evening.
Our third fight, our first pro fight of the evening, by the way, is brought to you by Maestro's Barbershop. Go see the Maestro.
They'll keep you looking good, that's for certain.
That's for sure.
They're actually located out in Bridgeville. I know we have a lot of fighters and fans from that area. We really appreciate Maestro's Barbershop always being there with us, and we're blessed. We have so many really good sponsors. And Gladiators of the Cage, the way they conduct their business has really drawn some of the best sponsors in the area and family-oriented sponsors. And if you take a look at that beautiful new cage layout they have and the brand new decor on it. We'll get into that in a second here. But let's go to Frank Murgy. Let's get these guys introduced.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the start of our professional bouts. We have 8 professional bouts this evening. This is 3 5-minute rounds, all of our professional bouts. 3 5-minute rounds. This is the 145-pound featherweight division, and these fights are sanctioned by the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission. With a height of 6'2" and a weight of 145 pounds, this is his debut professional fight. Fighting out of Team Reality in Lakeland, Georgia, Rowdy Chase Rowden. In the red corner to my right, 5'11", weighing in at 146 pounds with a record of 1-2. Fighting out of Dignan Broomball and Titan Fitness. From State College, PA, Ethan the Wolverine Gotc. Referee Chip Snyder with the instructions.
Sir. Okay, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the back. I expect a clean, fair fight. You need to obey me at all times. Any questions, red? Any questions, blue? Touch gloves, go back to your corners, please. Back up, sir. Sir, are you ready? Sir, are you ready? Come on, let's bang.
And we're underway, Rich.
Now I'm going to make a correction. I was going over the professional rules, and I said you can't knee to the head with three points of contact. That you can't kick to the head with 3 points of contact. That'll be considered a soccer kick.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can't stand up and kick him like you're kicking off for the Steelers.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And as we were starting to talk, as the feeling out process goes on between Gotc and Rowden, look at that nice new Gladiators of the Cage. We love our sponsors. We represent them well. Fox's Pizza. Thank you for coming on board. Fox's Pizza, our official sponsor, located right there in the center of the cage. And some also, we have Cryo Pittsburgh, Assassins MMA. We couldn't do it without you guys.
As we're still going through the feeling out process. There's 5-minute rounds, so there's not going to be too much of a rush. These are skilled fighters. They're both dangerous. Now, with Chase Rowden, when we're talking about his amateur career, and this is his pro debut, he's 9-2 as an amateur.
That's a great record. That's a real good record. He's got also, like you were saying, with the longer rounds, there's not that sense of urgency, but by the same token, you never know when it's sort of like flip mode, when it's going to go.
Exactly. Yeah. And you can see, there's a much greater respect. And remember now, we're at a 4-ounce gloves. Is it going to make a huge difference? Well, it's going to make a little bit difference.
Not to us, it won't, but if I was in there getting hit, it would make a big difference.
Yeah, and I really encourage somebody, if you ever get a chance to actually feel one of these gloves, a fighter who actually trains, and put one of these gloves on and just have your friend kind of tap you. And remember, this guy's hand is taped under here very heavily first. And his hand's almost like a rock. And then it's placed into this glove, which is not like a big boxing glove with a lot of cushion to it. And when he hits you, it hurts. If he hits you in the arm, it hurts. And imagine getting hit in the face with this.
I thought you were going to say when you get a chance, if you ever get a chance to hit Dan, go ahead and hit him. That's why I thought you were going to go with that. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Actually, at the next show, we could have an early ticket. Hit Dan. See how this feels.
Well,
like it's going to do any damage.
His name is Dan the Brain. If we hit him that much, there's not going to be too much brain left.
The mush. There's not much to start with, so let's keep what's there.
Dan the Mush Bogan.
Yeah.
Rowden's doing a nice job. He's keeping Ethan at his reach a little bit, and he's doing both of them are doing a nice job mixing in punches and kicks.
And when you get fighters that are very evenly matched, it's like a chess match. When you have two great masters at their game, they almost kind of stalemate each other, and it seems kind of boring maybe to the untrained eye, and that's why we kind of try to bring it to as much as far as the super detail that we can from our side, because there really is a lot going on. They're looking at footwork, they're looking at timing, they're looking to flick that jab to see how close they can get to their opponent, but if you notice, he always seems to be just out of reach, and that's timing.
Sometimes you got to wait for someone to make a mistake, but you can't just both stand there.
Right.
Somebody's got to do something, and are you going to counterpunch or you're going to punch?
And
take your pick.
Well brought up, Dan, and that's the point. Who's going to do that? And sometimes it's a waiting process. Sometimes it's a feeling out of like, hey, you step up first. kind of like in drag racing. Who's going to stage first? Who's going to get up to that light first? A good tag there. Nice throw of a punch. You can see the distance closing a little bit, but both guys doing a good job circling away. No one's getting pushed straight back up against the cage. When they feel that cage getting close on them, Rich, they spin out really well, get back to the center of the logo.
Well, you see Roden, he's doing a real nice job. Look how many times he might not be throwing out a jab just maybe to strike him. He's keeping his distance.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again. He's keep pumping that left hand over and over and over again. And it's keep Ethan guessing. As you see, Ethan hasn't quite figured him out yet. He's trying those kicks, and it's just out of reach.
Yep. And, you know, we're well into 3.5 minutes into this fight, and nothing really significant landed. And I know to the fans, they're going to be like, oh, man, this is pretty boring. But you almost sense something's coming. You know, they're getting, and there it was. And he just missed. And he was setting that up a good bit, it seemed like.
It looks like either of them, they're not looking too forward to get into the ground right now. They want to strike.
Yeah.
It's like a kickboxing match at this point.
It makes it exciting.
Very much. With, remember, 4-ounce gloves. And no shin guards like we mentioned that was in the amateur. So this is the first bout we saw of the evening. And I'll tell you, a lot of people have a misconception about kicking, you know, that you want to kick with your foot, and that's not necessarily the case. You want to really use your shin. But that means you have to get really close inside your opponent
Which
to
leaves
land
you
that.
open to getting punched,
Right.
or you know, several things, takedowns, whatever.
Right, exactly, Dan. And the biggest counter to that kick is the overhand strike of the other person.
Now you get kicked in the arm that many, couple more times, one time isn't going to end your night. 4 or 5 of those, that right arm becomes numb, hurts, blobs, and you're not going. You've neutralized that right.
Yeah.
Well, you start feeling it after a while, and there's a lot of fights out there. All you do is go look them up. There's a lot of broken arms simply just by a kick.
Yeah. Now, you know, a little more action here, and I thought we was going to see someone pushed up against the cage there, but very good job circling back off again, and look, right back to the center. That's not accident. That's purpose.
Now, Chase Roden came from Georgia, I believe. That's one of the great things I think about Gladiators of the Cage. We have a strong local fight base, but they're not afraid to bring guys in from out of state or out of the country. We've had Russian fighters out of the Middle East, Pakistan and such. Well, you got to bring some fresh people in too. Bring a guy up from Georgia. I say kudos to Gladiators of the Cage for not being afraid to bring some new people in from out of state, out of the country, whatever.
And you know, you brought up Scott Benton, the birthday boy, earlier this evening. He does a great job, and we can't leave out also the owner of the company, Robert Joseph. You know, he's kind of behind the scenes. We don't get to see him too much in the limelight. He's not that kind of guy. He doesn't want the spotlight on him, but he gets hundreds and over a course of a year, thousands of messages and phone calls and people sending him videos to come and fight for this organization because the way he handles business and being the premier organization in all of Pittsburgh, some would argue the state and tri-state area, and putting on shows at this great venue. I don't know if anyone out there, maybe you're in another state watching, maybe you are in the local area, but Stage AE is sandwiched right between Heinz Field and PNC Park. And
used to be Three River Stadium, was on this hallowed ground that we're sitting on tonight.
Exactly right. So we're right in the heart, in the mecca of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Well, if I was in their corner, I would tell both of them, you have to push the pace. You can't be feeling around anymore. You only got 3 rounds to do so.
Sir, you ready?
First round, you go
Come on, let's
way.
bang.
Someone's got to steal a round right now.
And who do you give that first round to?
I don't know.
It's very
That's
hard
why
to
you
say.
couldn't pay me to be a judge.
Both of them did a really well mixing it up.
Now,
and
what's the
everything.
pace we're talking?
That's right.
Finally, we're closing a little bit of distance here.
Ethan did a real nice job, and he closed the distance by simply pushing the pace, going forward, and not stopping. You're going to hit that. Your back's going to hit that cage at some point.
Take note that if you take a look at Roden's left hand, see how he has it under the arm? That's called an underhook, when you have that underhook under your opponent. And see how the other arm is over on the other side. The objective is if you can get both of those arms underneath, you can really get a good body lock. Great reversal.
Nice job.
Really swinging the balance and doing a great job. And look how quickly he pushes him up against the cage.
Now, Chase Roden has those long limbs. Ethan has to be careful that he doesn't do the same mistake that Cody Riggs just did last fight and get that caught in that triangle.
Boy, he's climbing up there quick. Look how he hooks the arm. Good job of posturing up here, not getting overcommitted to this, knowing that he's in a vulnerable position.
He's doing a nice job stacking. Now he's up.
Thought he was going to go for a Boston Crab.
You know, I am looking forward to the day I see in somebody hit the Boston Crab.
Boston Crab.
I've seen suplexes. I've seen belly to back, belly to belly. I've seen some really cool. I actually once in Japan in the Pride organization, I seen somebody hit a vertical suplex.
Is that right?
It was phenomenal. But I've yet to see the Boston Crab. If someone pulls off a figure 4, Dan, you have full authority to give us the greatest Ric Flair.
Not the sharpshooter, though. It's got to be a figure four.
Got to be a figure four.
Ethan's doing a nice job. He's defending. He's defending the submissions.
Come on, let's
and
have
he's
some more,
continuing. Now he's
gentlemen.
putting his neck. He's putting Chase Roden's neck against the cage. That's where you want to put it. Whenever you take someone's neck away, it takes their hips away. And Ethan, like I said, he's doing a nice job. He's doing some ground and pound. He's doing some body head.
Get your toes out of
and
that
Roden's
cage.
searching for the submission.
I think one of the benefits for some of the fighters coming from out of state too is a lot of fighters have stepped up to a bigger field and
Come
a
on, let's
bigger
work out
venue
or I'm gonna
after
stand
fighting
you
for
up.
Gladiators of the Cage. Fighters that have fought for other promotions in the city also come fight for us. We've had a pretty good track record with guys moving on to bigger and better things. So a lot of people, I think, would like to come here.
Uh-oh, look here,
Ethan's
Rich.
looking for a guillotine.
He's looking for it. That looks
He
really
looks
deep.
sunk.
That looks really deep. Chip's got to keep an eye on this here.
This
This
could
is
be it.
really deep.
You got to make
Ethan's
sure
gotta get his
he's
hips
not
in.
unconscious, so he cannot even tap out. Is the fear?
And you can see.
Oh, let it go.
Oh man,
Nice
I didn't
job.
know
He's
he
gonna
was
get
out
his-
there for a second. Good job.
He's searching for his hooks. He's got his right hook in. Now he needs his left. He's doing some ground and pound.
Oh, you know what? You
Chase
give up your
turns
back,
over on
but you
him.
give up the mount. Ooh, when you do that, good job at least getting half guard. But this is in a position you don't want to be in. Ethan Gotc really dominating position here in the second round, turning up the heat a little bit.
He's doing a nice job mixing it up, body head. And right now, Chase Roden, he needs a search to get up or maybe switch
Come on, I'm
positions
gonna need
right
more
now.
action
Laying in
than
the
that.
guard's
Let's go,
not doing too
gentlemen.
much for him right
Now,
now.
you can hear Chip talking, saying, come on, I'm giving you another warning, because really there's not a lot of punches being thrown on the top that are getting through by Gotc. Very, very small shots.
There are no rest holds in MMA.
Yep, exactly right, Dan.
Now, why is it important for Chip Snyder to stay on top of everything, just like that, and tell the fighters, hey, you got to keep busy, you got to do that? What happens if they're not that busy?
Well, you know what? Look at the first round. You know, what happened? Who won that first round? You know, and does a guy get a takedown, but he's not doing anything? How significant is that? You know, you also got to let them know. You come here to fight, guys. You know, you can't just lay here in a position. And if you're not going for submissions when you're on the bottom or trying to get up, and you're on top and you're not throwing punches, neither one of you are getting points in my book.
What's the point?
Chase Roden right here, he's doing a nice job. He's trying to trap an arm right now.
Yeah.
Come on, Red,
He's
you gotta
looking
work.
for
I'm
an
gonna
arm bar.
separate you.
It's going to be very hard, but he's doing a nice job.
Yep, and you know, as we're under that minute mark left remaining in round number 2, the perspiration is more and more and more, and the submissions become less and less and less obtainable when you're that sweaty.
You slip out of things, just common sense.
Exactly right, yep, exactly right. So it becomes very difficult. You really have to have super angles and excellent
Come on, we gotta
technique
stay
to
busy,
get those
Red. Come on, let's
submissions
go.
as
Your
far as
last
arm
chance.
bars and triangle chokes go, because it becomes a lot easier to get out.
Ethan's stacking. He's bringing down some punches. He's looking to connect. There's only 30 seconds left in the round. He
missed
went
a big
overhand
shot.
left.
He went for it all there, Rich.
He did right now. Hey, you're the last 20 seconds of the round. You got to go for something, right?
Yep. So Dan, as you're looking
Short
at this,
time, gentlemen.
I mean, how can you score this any different against Ethan Gotc? Would you say he's got this round just because of position?
Just position. There hasn't been that much activity beyond that. For the most part, it's been in small spurts.
Now play the advocate on the other side. Rich, if you're Chase Roden's corner, what are you telling him? Because that first round could have went either way. It looks like that, you know, he definitely seemed to lose that second round if we're judging, which we're not, and we're not trying to take that place. But if we had to say, hey, it seems pretty evident that he's not going to get the nod on that second round. What do you do, and how do you change your game plan?
Well, the game plan right here is don't let Ethan Gotc on top of you, because he just demonstrated right now that the submissions aren't that big of a threat for him. Chase really, really needs to use his reach advantage. He needs to keep pumping that jab. He needs to mix in the kicks. I think he's going to keep the distance and not let Ethan push him against that cage, because Ethan just overpowered him, just took him to the ground.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's good points made, and you know, the third round was the war of attrition also. Like you said, those first fights we saw 3 2-minute rounds, 3 3-minute rounds, and now we're going to see maybe potentially 3 5-minute rounds complete as we enter this third 5-minute round. So how's the gas tank going to hold up?
Now, do you think Ethan should do the same thing he just did last round?
Okay,
you know,
last round, you ready?
If he
You
wants
ready?
to try
Let's
to
finish
eke
it,
out the
gentlemen.
victory that I love him, I want to see him more action in the fight. You know, it's still a fight, and I love guys that go for it, you know, and he's turning it up a little bit. Oh, good
nice
counter
overhand
by Roden.
right by Roden.
I think both of these guys know it's do or die this round.
Well, Roden, he's pushing the pace a little bit. He's throwing out that jab. He's doing a nice job.
We know how quickly the tides can change from the Rubiano fight that we just watched.
Yeah, flip mode. Don't forget
Wow.
that.
Perfect nickname for a perfect performance.
Now Ethan, he's throwing those front kicks and he's just out of reach. He goes for a takedown. He caught that left leg and he just kept driving, and Chase Roden had no choice but to go down.
Could we see a leg lock here? Oh, he's looking for a heel hook here, Rich. This looks tight.
Looks like a figure four.
He's scrambling
he did
hard.
a nice job. He did a nice job. He turned and turned and turned and kept his hips going, and he wouldn't let him get the leg, and perspiration has something to do with that.
Absolutely. You know, wow. Very, very good job of scrambling by Gotc when you need to do it. I love Roden going for that leg lock, and we're seeing more and more leg locks in the submission world, in the tournaments of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and we're seeing a lot of catch wrestling techniques come back into the picture. And really, guys that never trained leg locks before, it's blowing their mind and opening up their game. Guys like Eddie Bravo and guys performing them like, you know, Gary Tonin and
Gordon
people
Ryan.
who've done them. Exactly, the follower of Gary Tonin. What we're seeing is an evolution in the sport, not even just the sport of MMA, but the foundation that these guys have in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Well, now we got Ethan Gotc. He's in the same position he was in the second round. He's in Chase Roden's guard. He's stacking. He's throwing some punches to the body, to the head. Nothing doing too much damage right now.
I like this stop. I really like Chip stopping this up. He gave him more than enough time to work on this.
There's much more action when they were standing in the beginning of this round.
And why make it difficult on the judges also? Let's get a definitive winner. I don't think either guy wants to win by something that, you know, he really didn't go after.
Agree. It looks like Ethan's just a little more fresher than Chase Roden right now. As you see, Chase Roden, he's doing a nice job going after the punches. He's not finishing it. As you see, after he throws his punches, he's squaring up.
Yep. Would you want to say I won my fight because I tried a little more, or because I beat the guy, or I was dominant, I was on top, or I was more active, I was more productive?
I tell you what, with Chase Roden, I know he wants to finish, and Ethan Gotc, I know he wants to finish. They're both doing a nice job. And right now, Chase Roden, he really needs to push the pace the last 2.5 minutes of this round.
Yep, I think they both realize this, but they're really, really watching out for the other guy's power. There's a lot of respect for each other here.
Almost too much.
Ooh, nice.
Exactly, Dan. You know, at this point, you got to go for it.
Ethan throwing those nice round kicks. He comes with a straight left.
You've got 2 minutes, almost 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. Whoever dominates this might win this fight just in these next 2 minutes.
No. And the question being in yourself, if it's in your mind, you may not be winning. Do you want to lose a decision, or would you rather, you know...
I'd rather get knocked out coming in with windmills.
You know, and maybe that's just sometimes the mindset you need, you know? You want to go down on your own sword, you know?
It's a lot easier for me to say that sitting next to you rather than in the cage, too.
Exactly. Well said there also. But these guys have a lot of heart. To climb in there from the beginning, you got to go for it sometime.
We didn't really talk about this. Ethan's also a southpaw. It's very difficult for Chase Roden to also get inside with the southpaw.
Very good point. And a nice kick landed by Gotc.
He's doing a nice job throwing that left round kick. He's been landing it this whole round so far. He's landed it the last 4 or 5 times he just threw it.
Yep. Really pressing through here.
Well, as you see, they're still both, they both reach out, they throw that jab out there, trying to get a distance. I think Ethan's taking a little better advantage of it, surprisingly, since he's, you know, 3 inches shorter than Chase Roden.
Yep.
There's a minute left. You're a judge. I got nothing.
Yeah, it's very difficult. You know, nice sharp punch and tit for tat. Roden with a very nice stiff jab of his own in retaliation to Gotc's.
Doing a nice job throwing those jabs. Right now, what would secure the round for Ethan Gotc is to go for a takedown. There's nothing to lose right now.
Good point, Rich. You know,
if I was in his corner, I'd be yelling, go for a takedown, go for a takedown.
Well, we're in the last 30 seconds of the third and final round of our first professional fight between Chase Roden and Ethan Gotc. They're trying to turn it up here a little bit. We got to see what's going to happen.
Ethan's doing a great job with his kicks, and he goes for that takedown.
You called it.
Great job by Gotc getting that takedown. That may be the securing takedown.
Is it too little too late, though? I can't wait to see what the judges have.
He's got to keep busy down there. He's got to keep going for whatever submission he could try to grab at this point.
And there we have it. The final horn sounds. That ends our first professional bout of the evening. This one's going to the judges. We'd also like to thank Cryo Pittsburgh. Check them out on cryopittsburgh.com. See what they're all about. Another great sponsor with Gladiators of the Cage in our Pittsburgh area. Rich, it was a good match. Kind of tentative on both sides. You know, nothing really got landed from the inside. Most of the shots we've seen were at the end of the punch to say, or at the end of the kick. A couple kicks maybe landed in there a little bit, but they were more slapping. They didn't get the body turning into them, maybe like a really hard kick where the hip turns over. But a good matchup, very evenly matched.
I would say it's a little bit, maybe too evenly. There's kind of the same style.
There is that thought, you know, but both guys game, you know, and sometimes it's just hard to get your rhythm. And no matter what you're doing, you have those nights or days where you're training or whatever you're doing in life, it's hard to get that rhythm. And both of these guys so evenly matched. It's going to be interesting to see who gets the victory here.
Well,
the judges have a tough time.
This is Chase Roden's pro debut. He's never won 5-minute rounds. So
Right.
I'm gonna give my props to him just for going all 3 5-minute rounds.
Yeah, both guys should be holding their hands and their heads both up high. Both put on a great show, great way to start off the card, getting the fans into this. You know, and once again, you always have those jitters. We talk about it every show. You're 0-0 and Chase Roden. He did a good job of coming out there and performing. And the judges are going to work this one out. It's taken a little bit of time. It's very close. I have no idea how you score the first round. Third round, you know, we'll let that one up to the judges also. Second round, couple attempts there. You know, how do you score that, Rich, if someone gets a takedown or someone goes for a submission and misses it? Because a takedown isn't close to finishing the fight. But if you barely miss a submission, you barely miss the game ender of the fight. So, you know, how do you really judge that?
It's really hard. I think it goes to what judge. It goes from person to person.
Yeah, and I think we finally got the official judge's decision. Let's go down to Frank Murgy to see who won this contest.
Ladies and gentlemen, our judges have rendered a decision. Judge Reamer scores the fight 29-28. Gotc. Judges Armstrong and Krutzka score the fight 30-27. For the winner, by unanimous decision in the red corner, Ethan Gotc. Turn it over to Dan Bogan for our in-cage interview.
Hey, good fight.
Thank you, Frank.
Now I see the doc. Good job.
Let's hear it for Chase Roden, all the way from Georgia. Put on a great fight. Ethan, the Wolverine Gotc. Let's get a word. All the way. Dignam Brumbaugh, right? That was a very tentative fight. You guys look like you respected each other a lot. What are your thoughts on it, sir?
You know, I mean, we had a tough time getting an opponent for this. I was supposed to fight here in March. The guy no-showed on me, so I was a little frustrated. It's been 9 months since I got to get in a cage.
Congrats,
I stayed patient. I trained every day. Chase showed up. We were like, yeah, let's take it. He was a little tall, which is what threw the plans off a little bit, but it still worked. There's a bunch of people I got to thank. First off, I got to thank Curry Rail Supply for having me a part of their wellness program. I got to thank Legends Warehouse and Jim for letting me be a part of their program. My teammates, my coaches, Jason, AJ Madden, Byron Boomball, Jolene, my teammate Cody Carlheim. Him and I actually fought in this cage, and now we're best friends. But I got to thank my mom. My mom, she's followed me more than anybody. She supported me more than anybody. And I also got to thank my brother who couldn't be with me tonight. He's serving military duties in New York, but he's also my #1 fan. And he's been there for me from the beginning. So thank you guys. Robbie, I know you're not here. Thank you. I appreciate it. I love all you guys, and God bless.
Let's hear it for the Wolverine, Ethan Gotc. At least your opponent showed up this time. Back to you, Charlie Rich.
Well, Rich, the Wolverine pulls it out. What a great performance. And once again, going to the judges, I wouldn't have guessed that one a split decision. I didn't want to venture in there, but the judges even seen it. There's 3 of us sitting up here, and 3 of us probably could have had that fight differently also, and 3 of the judges kind of saw it differently also. It's hard to say, and you know what? It's good for the Wolverine. Good way to start off our professional bouts. And man, we have 7 more professional bouts coming up. So let's get back to a word from our sponsors so we can get back to the fights.
Welcome to Maestro's Barbershop. We're the masters of the craft.
You know, it's kind of like a modern / classic feel. You know, we don't forget the old school barber feel, you know, with the straight razors.
We serve men, But if a woman wants to come in here and partake in this fine establishment, we're more than happy to serve them.
Oh, people love the atmosphere. Yeah, they hang out, they come up, you know, they relax, shoot a game of pool. You know, when men feel like they go to their barber, they want a chance to just relax.
There's not a haircut that comes in here that I can't do and nobody else on the staff can't do either. We do traditional haircuts, scissor cuts, clipper cuts, we do hot lather shaves, shampooing, styling. You name it, we do it all. We do even do a little bit of hair coloring also. And aside from the actual haircut, the atmosphere that we foster here is one of camaraderie.
We definitely feel like you should come on down and give us a shot. Maestro's Barbershop, masters of the craft. We feel like we're the best at what we do, and come down and get a shave, haircut, and just hang with the guys.
Our second professional fight of the evening. Let's go to that tail of the tape right now. Sorry about that, folks. We're going to Dino Juklo. He's 23 years old. He's 6'4". He's 185 pounds. He has a 0-0 record, which means he's making his professional debut tonight in Gladiators of the Cage. He's going up against Elijah Boley. He's 30 years old, he's 6 feet tall, he weighs in at 185 pounds, and he has a 3-1 professional record. Fans, we couldn't be more ready for this one. We have guys here on the Showtime stopping in to say hello to all of his fans, storming the set.
From outside.
We're ready, Pittsburgh's hopping. We're ready to go down to our ring announcer, Frank Murgy, and let's get these guys in the cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Charlie, Rich, and Dan. We are back. This is a 185-pound middleweight bout, 3 5-minute rounds. Let's bring into the corner, to the cage, my blue corner, Elijah Boley.
Now, you may see that name and go, what in the world are you guys pronouncing this Boley? We made sure we pronounced this right, right, Rich?
Yes, correct. I actually talked to him last fight, and I was like telling him it was G-Boley, or, you know, that's what it looks like. But the G's silent.
G's
and it's
silent.
like, you know, like it's Uklo instead of Juklo. Like,
yeah,
it's Uklo.
Yeah, this one's going to be tough for me. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Like you're a certified G. That's a silent G. And a bona fide stud, might I add. How you doing?
I hate to say it myself, so I'm glad there's someone here that can say it for me.
There you go.
And that's why he is Dan the Brain Bogan, Rich.
As long as I'm saying good things about you, the name stays.
Only good things. Now you can throw a little bit of, you know, different things in there every once in a while.
That's why we have Rich here. So
Okay.
there is that tendency
There's
to
a
have
yin
that
and a
bad
yang.
feeling. Yeah, exactly.
I'm here.
If you want to talk
I'm here
about
for
his
both of
hands
you.
and how they don't match the size of his body, you can do that.
They're massive. They're huge. Looks like he's wearing a baseball glove.
Well, we have Elijah Boley coming to the ring. His nickname is Rude Boy. Rude Boy, as where he's going. He's 3-1 as a professional. He's coming off of 2 wins via TKO. He's very strong wrestling. I'm sorry, I take that back. He just lost his last one. Very tough opponent, Joey Angelo. He lost via decision.
That was a tough fight there on the last
But he has 1 daughter, and he's actually Caribbean.
Interesting stuff.
That's where the rude boy comes from.
Rude boy. Rude boy.
All right, let's bring into the cage, into the red corner, Dino Juklo.
Dino Juklo.
Now, tell us a little bit about something about his last fight about Dino. Who did he is he now? He was currently the middleweight champion for Gladiators of the Cage. Am I correct, Chuck?
He's taking that big step up. He's going professional 185, which is like diving into a shark tank because there are some tough customers in the 185-pound division in Gladiators of the Cage. So that tells you this kid's ready to go. He had a beautiful submission victory over the human highlight reel Josh Fremd himself. In that fight, I was really anticipating that fight, and Jukla what an unbelievable job of getting that submission and armbar, and I'm finally ready to see Yukla's professional debut.
Well, a very interesting fact about Dino is all 5 of his wins are via submission. And it's no surprise it coming out of stout training with those guys that he trains with down there.
Yeah, excellent form, and he tries to go for it fast. He can get it in the first round. He wants to get it before they're sweaty. If I'm fighting this guy, I don't want to go to the ground with him in the first round.
No, here's the point, though. If the last 5 fights he's won by submission, you think his opponent's going to be looking for that? Would this be a good time to pull out some strikes? Just because he's going to leave, he's going to think I'm going to go to the ground.
It would be a game changer, that's for sure.
I'm going to wait for him to take me down. I'm going to nail him.
He's a very strong wrestler.
Let's get down to Frank Murgy for the official introduction of our fighters.
Thank you, Charlie, Rich, and Dan. Our lovely Emily, correct? Round 1, Ringo, Emily. Folks, this is a 185-pound middleweight bout. It is a professional bout. Referee presiding over the action is Chip Snyder. It's 3 5-minute rounds. Fighting out of BJJ Conquest from Crofton, Maryland, with a record of 3-1. In the blue corner, weighing in at 185 pounds, standing 6 feet, wearing the black and gold trunks, ladies and gentlemen, Elijah Rude Boy Bully. Fighting out of Stout Training, Pittsburgh, making his professional debut in the red corner, 6'4", weighing in at 185 pounds in the white trunks with the black trim, Dino Uklo. Referee Chip Snyder.
Dino, come here, sir. Okay, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the back. I want a clean, fair fight. I expect you to obey me at all times. Any questions, red? Any questions, blue? Touch gloves, go back.
This fight is brought to you by Red Ribbon Soda. Drink Red Ribbon Soda. It's out of Natrona Bottling. Any Giant Eagle Market District, that's the place to get it. I've had this pop. It's outstanding. It's old school pop, done right.
The right way.
Now, I am excited for this fight. We got a strong wrestler. We got a strong BJJ specialist. I'm very, very excited for this fight. What would you do if you were Bully? I mean, he's significantly shorter. Is he going to try to get inside, get him against the cage? But it's very dangerous to get Dino to the ground.
I think you got to work some angles here. You can't stand in there and let him dictate the pace of the fight, meaning straight on. You really got to have head movement and move lateral, and don't want to keep moving straight back, and you don't want to go keep straight forward into punches. So you got to mix your game up and change levels.
You know who Uklo reminds me a little bit of Zamari, Stephen Mowry.
Yeah.
Not quite as tall as Stephen, but just looking at him, it's the first time it's occurred to me. He reminds me of one of them Mowry boys.
Yep, big, tall guy. Mowry now, one of our alumni here at Gladiators of the Cage. We want to wish him the best in Florida as he's training with the Black Zillions full-time now.
I did not know that.
We're looking forward for him coming back here.
That's a big step. Those guys are bad.
Absolutely. So we can't wait to have him back on the card. Great job now. Feeling out process still on. I'm thinking Uklo wants to get this fight in a submission way, but very good job. Boley just working, keeping the distance. No one's getting over aggressive, and I think you're going to see that more and more as the fight goes on.
Well, they're both doing a very nice job of mixing things up a little bit. And Dino, he's actually pushing the pace. He's not going for a takedown or anything. I think he wants to keep his standing. He's doing a nice job throwing inside leg kicks, outside leg kicks, as you see here.
Yeah. You know, Boley, he's not our first Caribbean-born fighter at Gladiators of the Cage. Dan, the Bionic Fist of Justice Kakuta was actually born in the Caribbean.
That is awesome. I did not know that.
Yes, sir.
Awesome piece of trivia right there.
That's what it is, trivia.
Kakuta, yep. So Kakuta being the first.
It seems like Dino, with his pro debut, he's taking it. He's doing a nice job. He's very calm. It looks like he should be a professional a long time ago.
Come over here. You sure? Okay, let's go.
Looked
Keep
like
your
an
hands
inadvertent
vertical,
strike
please.
there.
Let's go, fight.
and Uklo doesn't want to break the rhythm of the fight. He says, I'm fine, it was unintentional, it didn't tag me hard, let's keep this rocking. As they're starting to find their rhythm here.
You know what I've been seeing a lot of lately? Eye pokes. Eye pokes. It's open, the open finger. I know they're trying to keep our distance, but there's a lot of open fingers going along. I'm not saying just in here, but in general.
That's the open finger gloves, and if you look how they're standing, they're not all of them. They're not always making fists, especially like Bully's hands.
Oh,
he
rocked him. He's got to go in. He's got to push on this. He cannot let him recover. He has to push it. It's over.
That's it.
Elijah Foley has done it. He has knocked out Gino Uklo. What power.
What a show. That came out of nowhere. He just hit him with a straight right. Straight down the line. Hit him right in the chin.
Uklo does still not know where he is at. Chip Snyder, great job at getting in there. I was worried for a second. It looked like Foley was going to just stop and not be aggressive, and then he hits him again. Knocks Uklo down. Finishes with a hammer fist. Chip Snyder said, I've seen enough. Evidently, Luca was out on his feet. Chip Snyder doing a great job, and wow, you can get a good picture of the damage there. I hope we have a replay here. I think our guys in the back have a replay coming up.
Well, he did a bowling. Here we go.
Maestro's barbershop.
Elijah hits him with an overhand right.
Oh.
Hits him down. Now, Dino just stands straight up there. Bully goes in for the finish. Dino tries to tie him up. Bully did a great job separating himself. He pushed him away and kept raining down punches. Hit him with another overhand right and drops him.
Oh, what a powerful right hand. And Bully's waiting for the ref to stop it. He throws one more hammer fist. Oh, thank you again, Maestro's Barbershop, for the great replay there. And wow, Bully ecstatic after that victory, and as well, he should be a feared fighter who took out his last 5 opponents by submission. Bully was having none of that tonight.
No.
Great job of dictating where he wanted to keep it, and once he landed, I think it even stunned Bully for a second. Wow, I really clipped him. And then I hit him 2 more times, and I hit him a third. He didn't even want to go in on that. Let's go down to Frank Murgy with our official announcement of our winner.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a great round of action in that cage. At 2:38 of the first round, our winner by TKO out of the blue corner, Elijah Rude Boy Bully. Turn it over to Dan Bogan for our fight interview.
Thank you, Hall of Famer Frank Murgy. Rude Boy, there's partying in the Caribbean tonight.
Nice try,
Congratulations.
What going on, yo? How everybody doing tonight?
Who do you want to thank? And also, I've got to say this, that knockout wasn't quick, that was sudden. That came out of nowhere, and it came fast.
My coaches, Josh Ford, Nate Greb, Lance Trippett, all my coaches, VJ, Vicente Jr., the best black belt in the world. Conquest BJJ, my family, my team, everybody, you know, all the love, appreciate it, and the support. Back from Maryland, appreciate everybody. By way of Florida.
Let's hear it one more time. Elijah Rude Boy Bully. Back to you, Rich and Charlie.
Wow, what a great performance by Bully. He was completely stoked about that fight. Great way to finish. Man, I think Buko's still looking for himself there. He really got tagged. Great job by Bully, really stepping himself up in the ranks, getting himself back on track in the professional division. Are you going to want to fight that guy at 185 after that performance?
Not right now. He just showed he just displayed power. Now I'm wondering if that's a little bit of maybe Dino maybe was a little nervous. It was his pro debut. Maybe he just stepped up into the big leagues.
Yep, and you know what? There's a big difference amateur to pro, and we're starting to see it. And this card keeps heating up the further we go on in the evening. So let's take another break, hear a word from our sponsors so we can get back to the action.
inaugural season, this is it. You know, this is we're building it from the ground up, and this is literally the birthplace of the Pittsburgh Thunderbirds.
Under 1200, 04 model, 11 and 1200 down to 11, 12, give 11 and a half, 1150, $1,150, yes, 1150 down to 1100 down to 50, 1100.
Here at 422, we offer the public an opportunity to buy vehicles at auction prices. We sell all types of vehicles at the auction. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, motorcycles, quads, golf carts. If it's got tires, we sell it.
All right, folks, we're back and we are live. Stage AE, North Shore, Pittsburgh. This town is absolutely rocking. Pirate game across the street. Penguin game. That's right, Stanley Cup Finals for the Pittsburgh Penguins. And we got a packed house here in Pittsburgh to see MMA. That shows you how popular the sport has become in our local area, that they're giving up the games for it. And right now, we have the 155-pound division, the first fights of the evening in the professional range at 155, and it's going to be good. We have two fighters fighting that are both 2-0. If we can get to the tail of the tape, and we'll give you the official tail of the tape from these guys. So first off, we have Devontae Smith. He's 22 years old. He is 5'8". He weighs in at 155 pounds, and he's compiled a 2-0 professional record. He goes up against his elder in Fred Stonehouse, who's 27 years old, with a slight height advantage of 5'10", same exact weight of 155, and he also has a perfect 2-0 record in mixed martial arts. Rich, this should be a great matchup. I'm looking forward to these two guys. One of these O's has to go. Let's go down to Frank Murgy, our ring announcer, for the official introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for our next professional bout. It is the 5th bout of the evening. Let's hear that bell. That's my guy right there. This is a professional bout. Once again, all fights are sanctioned by the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission. It's a 155-pound lightweight division bout. 3 5-minute rounds. Let's start the fight. Let's get him into the cage. Coming to the blue corner to my left. How about bring in Mr. Fred Stonehouse?
This next fight is brought to you by Assassins MMA, a brand new line of fight swag, fight gear. It's the best and it's the newest. It's Assassins MMA. Let's go back to Charlie.
Awesome, thank you. You can see the logo down there in the bottom right of the corner, assassinsmma.com.
I hear they're great people, the people behind this company. They are supposed to be fantastic.
That's awesome, because I've heard very similar. Great group of local guys, it seems like, from the Pittsburgh area.
That's what I'm hearing. Hearing nothing but good things about Assassins MMA.
Sponsoring a lot of fighters, getting it going, so get your gear, assassinsmma.com. And after this show, a lot of people requested, how in the world can I get one of those Gladiators of the Cage official t-shirts and walkout shirts? Well, you're in luck. If you're in another state, come the first part of this week coming up, as of Monday, we should have everything on site for Gladiators of the Cage on assassinsmma.com.
So it's like a cross promotion.
So you can get all of your fight gear that you normally couldn't get before on assassinsmma.com. All of the official licensed product of Gladiators of the Cage now available.
You're gonna have to see if you can introduce me to those people. I want to see if I can sneak an Assassin's t-shirt out of these guys.
I really believe they are good people. I hear nothing good.
I've heard that. I've heard that about them. Most of them, anyway.
Well,
let's bring into the cage to the red corner, Devontae Smith.
well, we're looking for the introduction now of Devontae Smith, the second part coming in here of the 2-0 fighters. Fred Stonehouse making his way in already. Rich, when you fought before many occasions, when you were standing in that cage and you was waiting for your opponent, how does the nerves go? Does it start playing on you?
Absolutely. Well, you can't stop pacing back and forth unless you're very experienced. Either way, no matter how many times you fight, you're always nervous. You're always scared. That's what's going to drive you to do better there. And yes, waiting in the cage is very nerve-wracking. You're seeing it. It's kind of intimidating. That's why it's always nice to be the second person out, because you're fresh, you're coming out, you don't have to think about anything. It's very difficult.
Has there ever been a fighter that hasn't thought to himself, how will it be when it's over? How will I be when it's said and done, when this night is over? It's got to be just a natural human nature to think that, how am I going to be later tonight?
If you don't think those things,
you can't be right.
You probably should be in a psych ward because you got a killer on the other
Leave
side of
my past
there.
out of this.
Well, now it's as soon as they shut the cage door.
And the bell rings, it's probably
you're just
gone.
going to say,
That's
well,
your
I
autopilot.
can't go anywhere now.
Yeah,
I
I'm locked
think
in
I'm
here.
in now. I'm in. I can't climb over a fence. I can't do anything.
The little things, you know, the sounds of the cage locking, it's interesting. But let's go back to Frank Merge. He's going to get these fellas introduced for us.
Thank you, Charlie, Rich, and Dan. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our 5th fight of the night. Hello, Jessica, our round 5 ring girl, Jessica. Again, professional bout, our referee, Mr. Chip Snyder, right behind me. 3 5-minute rounds in a 155-pound lightweight division. Fighting out of Ottawa, Canada, the Ottawa Academy of Martial Arts with a record of 2-0. 5 feet 10, weighing 155 pounds. In the blue corner, Fred, all natural Stonehouse. Fighting out of Evolve MMA in Cleveland, Ohio, with a record of 2-0. 5'10", 155 pounds. In the red corner, Devontae Johnny Cage Smith. Chip Snyder with our directions.
Okay, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the back. I expect a clean, fair fight. And you guys obey me at all times. Any questions, red? Any questions, blue? Touch gloves, go back.
When I spoke with Devontae as
Okay,
he
sir,
came in
you
tonight,
ready? Sir,
I said,
you
what
ready?
about
Come on,
you?
let's fight.
It's unusual, and his corner guys right away spoke up. He's 22 years old, and he still watches cartoons. I says, I'm a few years older than him, and I still do too. I said something unusual.
If that constitutes unusual, I'm in big trouble.
Yes, me too.
I believe you, Charlie, collect Looney Tune figures.
It's actually Scooby-Doo.
It's Scooby-Doo.
Action figures, they're not
And
dolls either.
I don't know how this guy gets up here, Dan. Action figures.
I'm sorry, action figure. I didn't think
You didn't
Scooby-Doo
say
was
dolls,
action
but I'm just make
figure.
sure you specified that.
When they
All right,
have,
here we go.
Uh-oh. Devontae's not wasting time.
Whoa, big takedown by Devontae, and look at this. He's ending up in side control.
You could just see the power in Devontae.
Yeah.
He hit Fred with one overhand right. He didn't want any part of it.
Stonehouse better get some hip movement. He better start laying on that left hip and try to get those knees in between the body there of Devontae, or this could be really short work here. Devontae doing great job. There's the big punches coming in, and good job of Stonehouse getting Devontae back in control. And now working that open guard, and he's going high with it. And remember, they're not sweating. Oh, he's got the arm. Devontae looks like he's nervous here in this position.
Well, Stonehouse is a BJJ specialist as well. As you can see, he's doing a very nice job transitioning.
Oh, he almost completely rolled it. He now it's the triangle choke. This could be deep. He has to come over. There you go. He's stacking it nice and high. Devontae needs to push in and try to get separation there. But this is really tight, you can tell.
Fred needs to lift his hips up, knock that left arm across the body to tighten that up.
Yep, you can definitely see Stonehouse doing a very, very good job there of controlling.
Well, Devontae's doing a nice job. As you see, he has that left arm pinned behind that leg, and it's giving him space to breathe between Fred's leg and the neck of Devontae. It's giving him space to breathe.
And I was just going to say, bring the elbows. I'm a big proponent. Throw those elbows when you have the guy's head trapped. Forget that submission. You got it locked down. Work those elbows and get that early cut going on in the fight.
Well, Devontae's trying to get Stonehouse's neck against the cage, which perfect. That's exactly what you want to do. You want to get up there and you want to stack on top of his neck.
Take away that separation so it really crowds your opponent. And now you can see Stonehouse is getting to an angle here, which makes this submission a lot tighter. And Devontae's throwing some punches. That may mean it's getting even a little bit tighter, but Devontae hanging in there very well. And he's doing a good job of keeping pressure. It seems like he's going to break this very soon. Chip's not going to stop this fight up or stand this up in this position.
Right here, he just mounted him. He just posted up and he stood up.
Oh,
and
big right hand
down.
by Devontae. You could hear that one thunder through the building. And now look, Stonehouse is going for that leg lock. We mentioned about how so many more people are training these legs, and Chip Snyder watching very closely. He's very astute. Oh, if I was Devontae,
that's dangerous.
I wouldn't have jumped for that. He's trying for a heel hook of his own. But someone's
nice
cut.
job.
Someone is now cut. It may be coming from the mouth of Stonehouse. One of those big shots may have lit him off.
Well, Devontae's landing those power right hands, and he's done. Out.
Devontae Smith with power and authority rushes down on Fred Stonehouse, and he is out cold.
And he brings his record to a 3-0.
Oh, Stonehouse is a bloody mess. What power Devontae Smith possesses. My gracious.
Oh, that was such power in that behind that right hand. He grabbed him by the neck of his left hand, held his head there, and rained down punches. That was brutal.
What ferocity of punching power, and that was from a 155-pounder, Rich. Wow.
He's somebody to watch right here.
Maestro's Barbershop bringing us the replay. You can tell Stonehouse was rocked a little bit. He's really focusing on the submission, and that leaves Devontae squared up, and he just starts throwing thunder, and he lands a solid right, which rocks Stonehouse right there. Follows it up with another powerful shot, and then Stonehouse is kind of out of it, and then followed up, and that last one was punishing and completely leaves Stonehouse just unconscious.
He was out of it. He's still out of it. He is still on the ground. I really hope him well. I hope he gets up. I hope he recovers well. I know that had to hurt. Like we were just talking about, there's no... The brain recoiled off of his skull.
We got a great medical staff here. It looks good. I think I see some movement of the hands of Devontae. I mean, of Stonehouse. Devontae there taking some quick pictures. And, you know, as a competitor, it's good. We see Stonehouse moving. His extremities are good, you know. He's waking up, and the doctors are right there. We got the best medical staff always on site. We got, not only do we have EMTs at every show, we also have doctors cage side and ringside to pay very, very close attention. You see the ever good Mike Wilkins, and we might be taking a break here from a sponsor while we find out here the condition of this match here. And man, Rich, when you see something like that, you know, you realize this is legit. These 4-ounce gloves, you know, and this in my opinion is what really makes a big difference. When you have you've seen Mike Wilkins in the corner with one of his training partners in Fred Stonehouse, and you know they're very heavy in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And when you're very heavy in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you see something happen in that where you want to keep going for those submissions. And in a submission tournament in grappling, if you go into an event, you're not worrying about those punches. And what happens if you compete a lot in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, sometimes you lull yourself to sleep and you forget that guy above you when you take that risk to grab maybe a leg control. He's allowed to throw those hammers wrapped in 4-ounce leather down straight at you. And in that case, Stonehouse, I think, got rocked by the first one and wasn't properly able to cover up. He was kind of rocked. And Devontae recognizing that one after the other, a brilliant display of power and patience waiting for that, and escapability of getting out of the submission attempts, Rich.
Yeah, he did a nice job getting out of the submission. I think it was actually the second hammer fist. I think Stonehouse was out there, and it's hard for Chip Snyder to tell. You can't really tell, and you want to give everybody a fighter's chance. But that's it. That Devontae Smith, I believe he's from Evolve MMA in Ohio. That's a dangerous fighter. That was power displayed behind those punches.
Yeah,
he is somebody to watch out for.
Yeah, no doubt. And that, you know, at 155 pounds with that kind of power, it's scary. You know, going up, I look at that and I'm like, man, he's in phenomenal shape, great conditioning. But something that really stuck out of me about Devontae was his poise. He was very, very poised. He found his positioning, before he went for the big strike. He found his range to get out of submissions before he attacked. He found positioning before he planned his attack. And I think that is an essential key that a lot of young fighters can learn. Get your positioning before you start throwing, and eventually those opportunities will open up, just like happened when Stonehouse focused on another part of his body, and man, all of a sudden Devontae could drop the hammers, and he did a great job, you know. And it's great to hear Stonehouse is up. They're taking Stonehouse out just for precaution, but he was moving around in the cage. They're going to give him a quick visit, make sure he's okay, and you know, that's the great thing. We have one of the best medical staffs on board here with Gladiators of the Cage, and they're always ready. We have the best doctors right here, so they're going to check him out, and I have a feeling Stonehouse is going to be okay. We'll keep you updated through the show to the fans watching there and let you know his recovery hopefully in a little bit. But wow, what a great showing by Devontae Smith. Let's go down and get the official announcement now with the man standing in the cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 3 minutes and 1 second of round 1. I knock out in the red corner, Devontae Johnny Cage Smith. Turn it over to Dan Bogan.
Thank you, Frank. Devontae, I gotta know, what makes you mad? Because I don't ever want to make you mad.
People hit me. Hit me, I hit you back, but 5 times harder.
I think we're gonna be all right then. That was vicious. Congratulations, there's gotta be some people you want to thank.
First off, I want to thank my coaches, John Cook, Jay, Chris Lozano, Demetrius, Moses. I want to thank my team, Evolve MMA, my brother Jarrell Hodge, who fighting next week, my brother Sean Raw, my brother Roller. They stayed after practice with me. I want to thank Genuine Fitness, my sponsors. They make my meals ever since I've been eating their food. Losing weight a lot easier, and I want to thank God and Jesus for everything I have, because without him, I wouldn't be here. And one more thing. Flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee. His hands can't hit what his eyes can't see. Rest in peace, Muhammad Ali.
Let's hear everybody's Met Team Evolve Cleveland is happy tonight. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, Dan. Quick announcement. We're going to have our fighters, Ethan Goss and Chase Rowden. Ethan Goss and Chase Rowden. Check in down at the ring down here. Ethan Goss and Chase Rowden, check in with us down here at the ring.
I'm going to say this, Rich. When they stepped away for us a moment, we literally looked at each other and we said, wow. Unbelievable power, unbelievable performance. And as the night goes on here, it's hot outside, but it is scorching inside. These fights are awesome. And we thought that this card could be maybe not so far only the card of the year so far, but this is a candidate for maybe being the fights of the year in any promotion in our area. What a great show so far. And we still got 5 fights. We got a couple title fights on the way, and we're going to bring out the big guys a little bit. But before we do all that, we're going to take a moment, take a quick intermission before we get back into the fights. So grab a cold one, relax, check out our sponsors, check out GOTC.com, check out AssassinsMMA.com, and see if you find something you like. And we'll be back with you in a few short moments to get the show back underway. Back live, Stage AE, the North Shore, Gladiators of the Cage 21. And man, we have a scorcher going on tonight. The fights just keep getting hotter, the action more intense. And man, what do we have coming up? We have even more fights coming up. The next fight we have is Eric Bledsoe versus Jeff Holmes. Should be a really good fight. Bledsoe 3-2, Holmes is 6-4, so we got some seasoned veteran action coming up. The tail of the tape's going to show us all. Jeff Holmes, 30 years old. He's 5'7". He's in the 155-pound weight division. He's compiled a record of 6-4 in his professional career. Eric Bledsoe is 27 years old. He's 5'7" also. Weighing in at 155 pounds, just the same as his opponent, and he has compiled a 3-2 record in mixed martial arts. So why don't we get the official ring introduction by Frank Murgy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Thank you for your patience once again. Thank you for your patience on our intermission. We hope our fighter's going to be okay, and we heard good word that they're taking care of him at the hospital. All of our officials are back. Ringside physicians, ambulance, we are ready to go, folks. So let's get this Gladiators of the Cage MMA 21 here at Stage AE on the North Shore of Pittsburgh. Our professional bout number 6. Let's get these folks into the ring. Coming into the blue corner, Eric Bledsoe.
Our next fight is brought to you by Olson Chiropractic. They're located in Katanning, Pennsylvania. A lot of chiropractors are not what they're cracked up to be. This guy's the real deal. He will align your life in a whole new way. That's Olson Chiropractic in Katanning.
Well, there may be a couple people from this card needing to visit Olson Chiropractic very soon.
I'll say, if you recall back to what I said, how will I be after the fight? After that last fight, it's going to be a long trip back to Canada for that gentleman.
Oh, man.
It doesn't happen often. It's tragic to see.
Well, we did get some good news. He's under great medical care. They got him stabilized. He's off, and he is over now, right now, in medical care and assistance, and everything looks good. He's at the local facility. We have another ambulance even here. One transported him. So we're right back to where we were before. We got the best medical crew available for us.
They won't let us go on. The Athletic Commission, nobody. Until we have an ambulance back. Safety first, always.
And that speaks volumes about Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and the Pennsylvania MMA community with what the UFC and Dana White called the greatest athletic commission
in the world.
Yeah. So we're very pleased and blessed to have that.
He said that before the last event here, but let's assume he still feels that way.
It's hard to know what Dana White ever really feels like.
You're exactly right there.
This is going to be another contest match in the 155-pound division as we see our first competitor coming in. And I believe we're now ready for our second entry into this battle.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the red corner, the corner to my right, Jeff Holmes.
Love the walkout music, getting the crowd into it a little bit.
I always enjoyed picking my walkout music. We have Jeff Holmes coming in. He's coming off a 4-fight win streak right now. I would say momentum is a huge thing. Now Eric Bledsoe, Eric Sizzle Bledsoe.
I like it.
Sizzle. At
I like it.
Bullpen Fight Club, there's a couple of his teammates like Todd Juju Bevan.
Juju. They're very colorful.
Josh Baker. Josh Baker is
the
his
Cake
teammate
Baker.
too.
Cake Baker.
I'm sorry, the Cake Baker.
Yes.
Now Eric Bledsoe, he's very, very heavy-handed. Jeff Holmes also likes to finish fights. This is going to be an interesting one. We just saw the last contest was 155 pounds, and we saw the power displayed by Devontae Smith. Eric Bledsoe has that same power.
Absolutely.
I would not want to be an enemy of Devontae Smith. After that last thing, we just saw, yikes.
You know,
I'd like to be on his good side all the time.
I'm just thinking here, and I feel really left out, and I realize this. We have Sizzle, we have the Cake Baker, we have Dan the Brain Bogan, we have
I don't have one either.
Rich the Munchkin Schleihoff, and I just get Chuck. How does that work?
Well, what's up? Chuck, never mind.
It's just not working for me.
We're just not cool enough for that, that's all.
Back to Frank Murgy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a 155-pound lightweight division professional bout. They are 3 5-minute rounds. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Fighting out of Bullpen Fight Club in West Virginia, out of Wheeling. With a record of 3-2, weighing in at 155 pounds. In the blue corner, Eric Sizzle Bledsoe. Fighting out of Team 1 in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. From Katanning, Pennsylvania. With a record of 6-4, weighing in at 155 pounds. In the red corner, Jeff Holmes.
Sir. Okay, gentlemen, we're the rules in the back. I expect you to obey them and me at all times. Any questions, red? Any questions, blue? Touch cards, go back.
Jeff Holmes, a Katanning guy. That's good to see somebody from the Western Pennsylvania area
Okay.
that's a little
Sir,
bit north
you
of the
ready?
city.
Sir, you
that's
ready?
where
Come
the
on,
home of
let's bang.
Epic Leap Entertainment, the parent company of Gladiators of the Cage, is Katanning.
Yeah, you definitely have to check out Epic Leap Entertainment because not only do they work with the mixed martial arts community and put on great shows, but they do concerts and all kind of different events. And your favorite, Dan, midget wrestling.
Oh yeah, gotta love the midgets, at least for a little while. They're always funny for a little bit, and I liked working with them. They're very short-tempered, and most of the jokes go over their head, but they're a great group of people to work with.
I knew
for a little while anyway.
Well, right now we have Eric Bledsoe. They started off throwing punches. Eric Bledsoe is backing up a little bit, but he's doing a good job. He was kind of backing up, throwing that jab, throwing some right hands. Both of them have some power. Both of them are exciting fighters.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to this one. Both with some experience. Bledsoe with 5 fights with a 3-2 record, and Holmes with 10 fights as a professional.
Bledsoe has one-punch power from what I've experienced from him. He didn't look comfortable against that cage, though. Of course, neither does Holmes at this moment either.
Bledsoe with a nice takedown. Bledsoe cross trains with a lot of gyms also, especially in the local area. He does cross train with some Mark Jericho guys. He cross trains with some stout guys.
How important is that? Because you get used to training with the same 5 or 6 guys or whatever, even if that because of your weights or whatever. You just need to experience different techniques, styles, specialties.
It's different techniques, different styles, different specialties, like you said.
Bledsoe's got him in trouble now. Guys, hate to interrupt here, but Bledsoe's got the mount. He's taken the back, and he's got both hooks in. Chip's going to watch this very, very closely. Holmes is doing the best he can of covering up his head, but these are going to be some hard shots coming in. Bledsoe, he has a lot of power, and he has very good balance. If I'm Holmes, I'm looking to grab a hold of the wrist there when he goes out, but he's flattening him out. Holmes needs to turn into him really quick.
This is where Eric Bledsoe, he's very, very dangerous because he has so much power.
Holmes had a couple of opportunities there when the hook slipped out to turn and scramble and get back facing him. But now Bledsoe looks like he's working the choke, and this looks deep.
That's in deep.
Bledsoe's got this deep. He adjusted his grip, and it's over.
It's over. First round.
First round is taking out Jeff Holmes just over 2 minutes into this contest with a beautiful rear naked choke. I loved how he switched his grip there, and an excellent job of finishing the fight. Bledsoe making very, very short work of his opponent, Jeff Holmes, as Bledsoe climbs the ranks. How cool would it be to see somebody like Devontae Smith, who's now 3-0, take on 4-2 Bledsoe?
That was a great, great fight by Bledsoe. He hasn't fought in a while. He's fought in multiple stages: Pinnacle, King of the Cage, NWFS, Gladiators of the Cage. He's been around. He's fought everywhere, and he's finished in every aspect you could think of.
Well, very
I'm
cool.
very, very happy to see him win.
Very cool, very calm, very collected. It seemed like Holmes had a couple opportunities. And let's go to the replay. Maybe here we can see exactly what took place. Maestro's Barbershop again with the replay here. You see the rear naked choke. He's already got both hooks in, and I love how he adjusts his grip. Look how Bledsoe grabs his hand and pulls straight down. No way for his opponent to get that other hand and pull it away, and he makes quick work of Jeff Holmes. I think Holmes is going to go back and look at that tape and wish he scrambled a little bit more in there, but it's easy to say from up here, hard to say from down there. We got a whole different angle. We're looking down at them at the cage, and they're looking up at us.
That was great technique of finishing that choke.
Yep.
Did a good job. He fought for the hooks, and then he secured that choke, and he did. You can't correct it.
Absolutely. I think we are ready for the official announcement of the winner of this matchup.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 2:06 of the first round, winner by tap out of a rear naked choke. In the blue corner, Eric Sizzle Bledsoe. Dan Bogan.
Thank you, Frank. Sizzle. You figured out they're not paying me by the hour. You made quick work of them tonight. There's got to be some people you want to thank.
Yeah, I'd like to thank my friends and family, my teammates, Redemption Clothing Line for sponsoring me. Thanks for everyone for coming out, Pittsburgh, for having me, Gladiators of the Cage.
Did you enjoy yourself tonight? You won. How could you not?
Yes, sir. It's always a good time. Gladiators of the Cage treats you real nice.
We thank you for being with us, too. Let's hear it. Eric Sizzle Bledsoe. Charlie, back to you.
Man, really good performance by Bledsoe. What can you say? The fight kind of said it himself. Really dictated the positioning in the fight. I like when he got the transitions, he got into his position, and then he worked towards the final ending. He got the hooks in before he went for the choke. He sprawled him out on the back, and when he found the opportunity, he got the choke, switched his grip, got it in nice and tight. Great work. Really looking forward to the next fight. It's our last professional bout before we get into a title bout. And I look forward to this one here. Adrian Valacia versus Kama Worthy. And I don't know, do we have the tail of the tape ready, gentlemen? Or are we? You know what? We're going to take a quick break from our sponsor before we take our next fight, and we'll be right back with you.
Sometimes people will really surprise you by working harder than you ever expected to really help you when you need it the most. Flaherty Fardo, no one will work harder to help you.
I truly believe games are a contribution to popular culture, and great audio combined with great music can truly elevate a good game into a great experience.
And I create memories with ice, and that's what's nice about it. It's a recyclable art form.
So sitting down with an attorney, making sure that you feel comfortable with them, making sure that they have the time, skill, knowledge to handle your case to the best of their ability, that's the most important decision that a potential client can make.
Horman High Performance Stores, opening your way forward.
So if you wake up in the morning craving some fresh squeezed orange juice or made from scratch buttermilk pancakes or one of our signature omelets, come down to the original Pancake House.
At Celtic Healthcare, we're looking for passionate people just like you. Join our team and share your spark.
Kicksandall.com. Shoes, apparel, and more. Free shipping and handling. Monthly giveaways. Dre Beat headphones, tablets, iPads. Kicksandall.com. Your limit.
And we just keep on rolling through these bouts this evening. Up next, we have Adrian Valacia versus the ever Kama Worthy, the ever popular Kama Worthy. Yep, charismatic Kama Worthy. We have these guys ready to square off tonight. I'm looking forward to this. The 145-pound division. Kama Worthy, he's 29 years old. He's 5 foot 11 inches tall. Once again, weighing in at 145 pounds. He's compiled a record of 8-4. He's going up against Adrian Valacia, 26 years old. He's 5 foot 10, also 145 pounds, with a stellar record of 6-1. We see Valacia now already made his way.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for our next bout. It's a professional bout. This is our 7th fight of the evening. As you'll see in the ring to my left here in the blue corner, Adrian Valacia. Let's bring into the red corner, Kama Worthy.
Right here real quick. Now we have Kama, the Death Star Worthy.
No showed, either missed his flight, I'm not sure which, he just never showed up. So the debut of the Death Star has been moved up to tonight.
Well, as you can see, he's 8-4. That's 12 professional bouts. He's only 29 years of age, 5 foot 11. He's a very, I think both of you guys could agree with me, very exciting fighter. He looks for the finish. Now, can you tell me about what happened on his last showing?
Well, his last showing, he didn't fight. He was set to fight. No, the last time he fought
against Anthony Costello.
You'll have to tell me that one yourself. I don't have any idea.
He finished with an enormous KO over Antonio Costello Jr.
Wow.
Very tough fighter, massive KO. It was a great fight, a very exciting fight.
I know Gladiators of the Cage have been waiting to have him on their event. Like I said, he was scheduled for the last one. Not his fault, not the promotion's fault. We've been waiting for this moment to have the Death Star in the Gladiators of the Cage. Finally, tonight, we get to see it.
I can't wait for this one. Let's go back down to Frank Murgy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a professional bout. 5-minute rounds. 145-pound featherweight division. Fighting out of Toronto, Canada, with a record of 6-1. Weighing in at 146 pounds. In the blue corner, Adrian Velaka. Fighting out of Mark Jericho Academy in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, with a record of 8-4. Weighing in at 147 pounds. In the red corner, the Death Star, Kama Worthy. Chip Snyder with our instructions.
Our next event is brought to you by
gentlemen,
Stream
we went over
Pittsburgh.
the rules in the back. I expect a clean, fair fight. I expect you to obey me at all times. Any questions red? Any questions blue? No, sir. Touch glove, go back.
Never want to interrupt Chip Snyder.
We are ready here for this event of the evening. Who is this event brought to us?
This is brought to you by Stream Pittsburgh, and it's finally, I'll get to it, your #1 resource in live entertainment. That is Stream Pittsburgh. Sorry about that, Chip.
Gotta check them out. Stream Pittsburgh doing a lot
I
of
don't
great
want
work
Chip
in the
mad at
community.
me.
You may not want to blink an eye because these are very, very fast-paced fighters. They go for the finish, and they know how to finish.
Yep. And a little correction on the pronunciation. It's Velaka.
Velaka.
Adrian Velaka. They're giving us a test here with some of these names tonight, Rich.
Wasn't
Good job of
that
Velaka
a
changing
Slim Whitman
levels.
song, Oh Paloma Velaka?
It might be.
I think, yes. Uh-oh, look out.
Oh, he got the
he's
back.
got-
That's
he's got
deep.
the back. That's deep.
Velaka's trying to fight. Kama Worthy's got to squeeze that in. Velaka's fighting at valiant effort here. He's trying to adjust his grip, just like happened in the last fight with Bledsoe, and this is super tight.
You can see his face is different than his torso.
Oh,
the color.
Velaka.
He
Did
got
a
out.
nice job hand battling
twisted.
and got out of that.
Great determination to get out of that.
Now the position switch.
Let's see how you like it.
Now he's got it on Worthy.
Your
They're
turn, Kama.
exchanging chokes.
The Death Star's on the receiving end now.
Oh, and now
that's
this
getting
looks
deeper.
tight. How close Kama was. Now he has to fight out of the exact same positioning. It's a battle for wrist control.
Velaka has his hooks in deep, and he switched arms. Now he's trying to choke him with the left.
I don't know if I've ever seen anyone exchange chokes that fast, guys.
Left, right, left, right.
What poise, though, by both of these guys. Kama now seems to have wrist control of Velaka, and it seems to be working well. Now is he going to turn back into facing Velaka, just like Velaka did to Kama to get out of that position?
Well, now Velaka's throwing those punches. It might not look like it's doing much, but that's a distraction. It's a distraction to open up Kama's neck.
Very good job of patience.
Well, if you didn't hear, the Death Star Worthy, he fights out of Mark Jericho's Fight Academy, and he's got a great group of guys to train with.
He sure does. A bunch of battle-seasoned veterans there. It's interesting to me here. It seems like Velaka's almost working, and he's got his legs laced inside, but he's also extending them out to keep Kama off balance. He's not going for a body triangle, which seems very odd. Like he would want to try to get that body triangle, but he's keeping him off balance, and now he's going over, and very good job of Kama rolling. But even better job by Velaka keeping positioning here.
Now, Charlie, you could still hit an armbar from his position, am I correct?
Yeah, you know what?
Do you think he's trying to spread him out to maybe just try to open up that a little bit?
It very much well could be, you know, or try to trap that left arm. He's trying to trap one of the arms, I think, so he only has one arm, Kama, to defend. But Kama's been there a lot of times before with those guys that he's training with.
Certainly not his first dance.
Yeah, this is a seasoned veteran with 12 fights as a professional, but 12 fights as a professional training out of one of the best teams in all the area.
Worthy's doing a great job defending this.
Great
and he
job.
did a nice job. He turned towards him.
Oh. And now he's looking to bring some heavy leather towards Velaka's face.
We're going to find out tonight, is Kama worthy?
Well, Velaka's definitely going to be the one putting that to the test.
Got a head arm.
Oh,
nice
very
job,
good
right
hammer
on
fist.
That hurt
punches.
him.
Oh, another
Nice
big
job.
hammer fist. Kama now
He's
is
looking
past.
for the mount. He's looking for the mount. He gets up.
Now, why would you let him go?
You know, it's
He wants to stand. He feels that he's better on his feet.
That's where his specialty
He
is, or
wanna be
his,
in
his
guard.
best shot is.
Velaka's doing a nice job keeping his hips busy. I think Worthy's just more comfortable on his feet at this moment. As you can see, Kama's nice kick by Velaka. Kama's in his right hand's planted against that face, and that's where he wants it to be.
Very good job of control.
Again.
Kama's throwing some heavy leather. Chip's going to be watching this close, especially with the fight earlier this evening. It makes everyone on a little more edge to make sure that they're getting into these fights quick enough.
And that's not that Skip did anything, or Chip did anything wrong, rather. It's just human nature. You don't want to see another person go that way.
And the action is so fast.
Right.
If you're one step behind, there's 4 punches to that one step.
He's like pulling a trigger. You could say stop, but once that motion is started,
Yep. And
the momentum.
People don't realize how hard it is to be a referee because you got to stay far away enough to let the fighters fight, but you also got to be close enough to save the fighter if need be.
And there's always somebody you stopped it too
Nice
fast.
knee
Always
by
err on the
Worthy.
side of safety, though.
Yep. Beautiful knee by Worthy, but Velaka comes in and gets the takedown off of it, so it was kind of the risk reward.
It seems to me that Velaka wants this matchup on the ground. He wants it on the ground. He
And Kama
continuously
seems to
goes.
like it standing.
Yep, well, Kama's throwing some really heavy hands there. We got the 10-second clicker in the first round. Seems like Velaka's just going to try to hold on here, regroup after this first round.
I guess that's why it's called mixed martial arts.
That's right.
Very much so.
Good first round.
Very
back
good
and
first
forth,
round.
back and forth, fighting off submissions
Like,
each way.
like you said, Charlie, I don't think I've ever seen that sort of like you put your best rear naked choke on first, and then I'll put mine on. Let's see what happens. I've
Yep.
never seen them like reverse the exact same thing that suddenly.
And something to note there, it was very early in the fight, so perspiration wasn't as big of a deal. Those guys gutted it out, been there a lot, and the whole big idea for you watching at home, and you can only get this through training because naturally if someone tries to choke you, you kind of freak out. But it's weird, once you start training and you become comfortable, you learn one of your biggest
The panic goes away,
assets,
I would assume.
Right, is to be comfortable and be calm and not get erratic breathing and not start worrying and getting yourself into deeper, but try to relax, get proper hand control of your opponent, and pry those arms down away from your neck.
Now, if you're Worthy's corner right now, and if you're Cherico, would you be wanting him to stand continuously because they both had submissions?
Right. No,
I feel that Worthy's just a little more worthy of standing up at this moment.
He seems more comfortable there.
Yeah,
But he certainly is not having a problem. I mean, he has, but he's had his moments on top as well, on the bottom.
Yeah, Velaka wants this game on. He wants it on the ground. That's for sure.
It definitely seems that way. Well, here we go. I don't think there's going to be much feeling out process in round 2. Kama throwing a big overhand right, but it connects with nothing. Velaka doing a good job with head movement and changing levels. He's got to be very, very careful that he keeps dropping his head like that because Kama's a guy that can time you. And if you keep dropping your head like that, he will throw that kick.
He'll figure out when about. You've been doing it when I do this. Next time you do it.
He landed a knee earlier just by him doing that.
Right, and if he keeps him throwing this looping punches.
Nice punt.
Velaka just dove to his back there too as a little bit of bait. I think he wanted Kama to follow him, but that's there. See how Velaka keeps dropping his head. If I'm in Kama's corner, I'm telling him, listen, every time you throw that roundhouse, he's dropping his head severely. Follow it up with the kick.
Oh, he ate a kick there.
And there
Nice
it was.
front kick.
Yep.
He's seen it work, and he wants to continue trying it. As you see, he did throw that right round kick. Kama caught it.
Great
threw an overhand
sprawl
right.
by Kama. Good head control. Kama very smartly not jumping into that guard. He's standing at bay and taking his punches.
Yes, he does not want to go into his guard. He's doing a great job just going for the ground and pound, standing up, posturing up, and he's forcing Velaka to go where he's not comfortable.
Yep. It's a very hot evening here, and you can see the sweat, how already it's pouring off of Kama Worthy and under those lights.
Chip Snyder standing them both back up.
Chip standing them up quick. I like it. Keep the action going. We're in round number 2 of this professional bout in the 145-pound division.
Kama had posted a photo this week on social media of himself ripped to shreds. You could see, being a wise guy, said, imagine how he'd look if he worked out. And he's not talking to me right now, but no, I'm just teasing. But I did say that.
Now,
we're friends.
Volaka's thrown that left hand. Oh, nice. He caught his kick and threw it overhand right. He's throwing his left hand as like a feint, and he's coming over with an overhand right.
Well, Rich, you mentioned it earlier. He seems to be dropping down. Not that his wouldn't knock you down, but is he baiting him to come in still? Because it hasn't really worked either time, has it?
It's becoming more crystal clear, it seems, that the Volaka wants him to chase him to the ground, and Kama's having no part of that because he realizes his success is really coming with these strikes.
And he seems to like the guard.
Yeah, Worthy, he's controlling the fights. That was a nice wheel kick.
Very nice, Rich. Kama seemed to take it and just keep moving on. You know, it's interesting, too, with Mark Cherico's pedigree of wrestling, that Kama's very, very comfortable standing up here in the pocket, that he has no problems with this. These guys train, they cross-train, they train with the best of the best. If they have a little advantage maybe somewhere where they can learn and brush up on their jiu-jitsu game, they'll go there. They'll brush up on their wrestling, and they'll do so forth with boxing. And that is, to me, the mark of a true professional, always looking to improve, willing to humble yourself to go train with others who are better than you so you can become better.
I'm looking for Worthy to start mixing up some combos here. You know, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2-3, a 2-3-2. He's just throwing his one punches, kicking it overhand right, which he's doing a nice job. I think he's going to get him open if he just continues throwing more than 1 or 2 punches.
Yeah. Seems like Kama's really found a rhythm, and, you know, Volaka's still kind of looking for it. And he's throwing some very good kicks, Volaka is, but you know, not a lot of power kicks, really just trying to keep the momentum and the pace, I think, going and keep Kama thinking here.
Well, Worthy, this is what you call executing your game plan. And that's exactly what he's doing right now. The game plan for the Volaka is to go down on the ground, Worthy's to stand up. Right now, they're both standing.
Nice leg kick by Kama. I would like to see Kama going back to those big rights, those looping rights, and trying to get Volaka to put his head down.
1 minute left in round 2.
He's timing the kick of Volaka. It's catching it and timing it with that overhand right.
Oh, he rocked Volaka.
3 punches.
Now, why not jump in there?
But
he hesitated.
Yeah, Volaka has a great submission game, and, you know, he's tried to bait him a couple times already, and he could be playing possum.
You're right.
Kama's throwing some big punches.
He smells blood.
Oh,
another heavy hammer fist. Volaka doing a good job of tucking his head between the legs of Kama.
It's a professional. He can elbow
Kama's
to the head right now.
Now we got problems here for Volaka. Kama's kind of looking for a side choke, now trying to control the back. This is a dangerous position for Volaka, but there's only 20 seconds left in this second round here, and now going back to that choke again.
They're not as fresh as the first round.
Oh, Kama's got this tight.
15 seconds.
He can't hang on.
It's
over. Kama Worthy wins his debut in Gladiators of the Cage. A long time coming, Rich.
That was a great showing. That was a great fight. And who would have thought? He finished it on the ground. He stayed standing the whole time, took advantage of a position, and capitalized on it quick.
Absolutely, Rich. He went in there and finished the job. I love it. The round's coming close to an end. He has to know. Corner's yelling 30 seconds. He knows the time is going down, but yet he went and he switched. Instead of landing a couple more punches that probably wouldn't have done anything, but maybe get him a couple points, he went for the choke, and he did it by setting up those strikes. So the second Volaka was ready to stop, he went for the choke, and beautiful positioning. Let's see here. I believe we're ready for the replay. Brought to you by Maestro's Barbershop. Rich, take it from here.
Well, here's Worthy. He has him mounted. Volaka turns to the side, opens up his back, and Worthy takes advantage of it quick. He gets the hooks in, he spreads them out, he gets that choke in, and he squeezes tight.
Once you get that other hand behind the back of the head, there's no chance for your opponent to pull that down. The coup de grace, beautiful move by Kama Worthy, making his professional debut at Gladiators of the Cage, and boy, are we happy to see him. Now we know why they call him Death Star.
Just an exciting fight. That was a great fight. I enjoyed watching it.
So, you know,
props to Volaka. They both fought to the end. I mean, submissions, both of them had advantages and everything. I mean,
great submission. And Rich, I'm looking back over everything here. Was that the first submission of the, second submission of the night, correct? We had a rear naked choke with, in our last match with Bledsoe finishing Holmes in a very technical manner. And now let's go down to our ring announcer, Frank Murgy, for the official result.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about this action? At 4:48 of the second round, winner by tap out via rear naked choke. In the red corner, the Death Star, Kama Worthy. Over to Dan Bogan.
Thank you, Pittsburgh Sportsline Hall of Famer Frank Mercia. Kama Worthy, the Death Star, has finally landed at Gladiators of the Cage. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. I got a lot of stuff to say, but I'm gonna make it short. First of all, I wanna let people know, no matter how much they don't talk about me, I'm the dark horse. A lot of people out there, they don't know about me, but I tell you now, the trainers around this area, they know about me. They train with me and stuff. I'm the dark horse, baby. You can't deny me my crown forever. Now I want to get into thanks, man. As you can see, I want to give a big thank out to Sylvester Turkay and Isaac Greeley for working on my wrestling. I was doing a lot of stuff that they showed me. It worked perfectly, all the guys up at the Map Factory. Of course, I want to thank everyone down at Mark Chirico's Academy, my head boxing coach, Chris, my boxing coach, Bob Meese, and this guy right here, you guys may not know him, but that's Master White Fang right there. He's one of the best kickboxing coaches in the world. I mean, seriously, this camp took a lot out of my body, so I gotta thank my sponsors, Captain Massage, my girl Amber, man, she did me amazing. Cryo Pittsburgh, they really made my body recover. Who else? Toast Products, Eggs and Nuts, Green Tree Chiropractics. I can't forget Little Bruiser Goozer, Little Bruiser Fight Care. Enduring Roofing, my man Joe, I hope you're out there. I'm glad you're able to make this one. They've been with me for a minute. My mouth guard, grip mouthpiece, and JM Window Cleaning, man. Thanks for jumping on Team Death Star. Also, RPMs for making my moped, because it's summertime, so I'm on my sucker. But also, I want to thank all my teammates, everybody, Pittsburgh MMA, Pittsburgh and Ohio MMA. We standing strong, finally. Hey, I want to give a big shout out to my little brother, Shaka. Hey, 135 and start ducking him. That's pretty much it. I want to thank Gladiators of the Cage for having me. We're going out tonight, pre-game in the South Side, after party, after my boy Dempsey, and Joy Holt getting here and do that work. Thank you, fans. Thank you.
Come on, I got a question for you. First round, it looks like you guys agreed. You try your best rear naked choke, I'll try mine. He was a very, very valiant fighter.
Yo, I want to say a big shout out. He's not even here, but my boy Ryan Oriola. He puts me in that rear naked choke all the time. He makes me fight off of it. And that was the reason I felt so comfortable, because he was strong as stuff. I almost cursed, my bad.
Hey, we want to know, you've proven it once and for all. You are worthy. Kama Worthy, the Death Star. Back to you, Charlie and Joe.
Kama Worthy, what a performance. I love the fight. I'm glad to have him here in Gladiators of the Cage. And take note, Rich, we're sitting back here watching, and three prominent people he introduced. Mark Chirico in his corner from
Mark Chirico Fight Academy.
Second, he announces his other gym that he's training at in his wrestling with
Mat Factory.
And then he thirdly brings out his kickboxing coach to show this guy is not just training in one place, sitting there hoping to get better with who he's going. He's going out playing in other people's sandboxes, honing his skills, learning what he doesn't know, not practicing just what he does know. That's the sign of a true professional. That's why Kama Worthy is 9-4 and on his way one step closer to a professional title shot in Gladiators of the Cage. We have three more exciting fights, two of them title fights, and a co-main event with the return of Chris Dempsey. But before we get out of that, let's take one more break with our sponsors.
Sometimes people will really surprise you by working harder than you ever expected to really help you when you need it the most. Flaherty Fardo, no one will work harder to help you.
Our original location is in Beachview, which is a little neighborhood, which is part of Pittsburgh. And our second location we opened up in August of 2014, and it's located in downtown Carnegie. you know, our style is a New York style pizza, so it's a little thinner, chewier crust, which typically in Pittsburgh you find thicker pizza with a lot of cheese. Munch, who was an undercover reviewer for the Post-Gazette, reviewed us. And then at the end of the year, he picked us as one of the top pizza places in the city. And then so far this year in 2015, we won Best Pizza and Best Hoagies for our area through the Tribune review. Our dough we make daily. We let it rise for at least 24 hours prior to using, which creates texture in the dough, which gives it the nice browning and the chewy crust. Our sauce, we use San Marzano tomatoes, which is one of the best that you can use. They're whole tomatoes that we crush down and use fresh basil in the sauce. And then our cheese we shred here at each location using a mix of provolone and mozzarella, and we use higher quality meats. But then we also sell pizza rolls, which we sell a couple hundred of those a day. Pizza in Pittsburgh is very personal, and people always get into big debates over it. And we feel if you give us a chance and you come out to try us, that we may become your favorite pizza shop.
We are back live. Gladiators of the Cage 21, the North Shore, beautiful Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The action is phenomenal this evening, and it just keeps going. And a fight I couldn't wait to see. We have two big boys going at it in the 205-pound division. And these guys combined have an amount record of 61 professional fights. And we go to the tail of the tape. Robert Morrow, who's only 30 years old. He's 6'3", big kid, 205 pounds. If you take a look at that record, he has 45 professional fights. And he's fighting Daniel Spawn, no stranger to taking a lot of fights. He's 31 years old with a slight height advantage of 6'4". He's an Ultimate Fighter alumni. He weighs in at 205 pounds, and he has a 12-5 record. We are bringing a lot of experience into this fight with some guys with some heavy hands and some heavy skills. So I wouldn't blink during this fight. So let's get right to this action and go to Frank Murgy, our ring announcer, to get us started.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our 8th bout of the evening. It is a professional bout. Are you having a good time, folks? That's what I wanted to hear. Gladiators of the Cage 21. Let's get this thing started in the blue corner. Now this is a title fight for the vacant Gladiator of the Cage light heavyweight title at 205. To the blue corner, Rob Morrow.
All right, Robert Morrow coming down to the cage. He's 24-20-1. Like you said, 45 professional fights. A very active fighter. I think like 30 years old.
He's a beginner tonight, huh?
He has fought everybody. He has fought every kind of specialist you can think of. He's fought a lot of people.
Am I mistaken, or have these two not fought one other time before with Spawn winning before? Am I correct about that? Do you know anything about that?
I believe you're correct on that, Spawn. And they also share something here. Robert Morrow and Daniel Spawn both fought Bellator veteran
Louis the Beast Rumsey.
Exactly.
And they both beat him. And I got to tell you what, Louis Rumsey isn't called the Beast just for jokes. He's a monster.
He's a warrior.
And you want to talk about a fight record? Did you ever take a look at how many fights that young guy has? When him and Morrow fought, I mean, it was crazy. They almost, they was going off the charts as far as amount of fights. And the interesting fact, Daniel Spawn, who was a member of the Ultimate Fighter alumni.
He's also a Bellator alumni, is he not?
I believe, yeah, absolutely.
That's what I thought.
Bellator, and this is very interesting between these two guys here. They both fought the Beast. Morrow ended up finishing him on the Gladiators of the Cage 20 card, and Daniel Spawn went to a decision with him.
Now, I'm curious, Morrow knocked him out pretty quickly. Wasn't it like a minute or so after?
It
went to a decision with Spawn, though. Now, does that matter or not? Well, it's a whole different game.
They're both strikers. They're both strikers. They both can throw hands. It's going to be a very interesting thing.
Back to the introduction.
All right, let's bring in to the red corner, Dan Spawn.
I I love the music. I love the entrance. If this doesn't get you fired up, what will? Daniel Spawn making his way down to the cage. Who is this fight brought to us by?
Well, if funny you should mention that, since I appreciate both of you eating all the pizza tonight. It sure smelled good. But tonight, it's brought to you by one of our brand new main sponsors. You'll see it center of the cage when we go back to the cage. Fox's Pizza. From their den to your den, it's Fox's Pizza, our national sponsor. We're glad to have them aboard. They do make good pizza.
Great group of people, know them personally. Great food also. We got to hit them up later tonight. If you're home and you need something to eat, your belly's growling, hey, we got some great fights. You don't have to leave the house.
Call
Get
them.
on the
They
phone.
deliver.
You've got a cell phone, for crying out loud. All you have to do is dial the number. You don't even need to get out of your seat. They will drive it to your house. You can even send your kid to answer the door.
Don't let these two around until you'll never get a slice.
And don't forget to get something for your cat or dog.
What are you going to feed a cat? I don't
Something.
think they eat
They need to
pizza.
eat,
Maybe
Rich.
Peaches
They
does.
make
Peaches left
wings
some
and
fur.
stuff.
Rich doesn't even
By the
feed
way.
his pets.
I feed my pets.
This is terrible.
I just,
My
I
German
just share.
Shepherd's
I
waiting
share.
for me at home.
I share.
Butter lips.
Well, Daniel Spawn is ready to go after weigh-ins yesterday. Hopefully he filled up on some Fox's Pizza, and now he's all ready to go.
After the
Terrible
weigh-in.
fuel for a fighter.
Ladies
Carbohydrates.
and
Come on,
gentlemen,
carbs. You need that energy.
This is a 3-round fight. 5-minute rounds for the vacant Gladiator of the Cage 205 light heavyweight title. Let's have Jessica and Emily. Let's see those belts, ladies. It is a vacant title here. 3 5-minute rounds. All fights are sanctioned by the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission. Fighting out of Gilbert Grappling in Lockport, Illinois, with a record of 24-20, weighing in at 204 pounds. In the blue corner, Rob the Destroyer Morrow. Fighting out of Mark Jericho Academy with a record of 12-5. Weighing in at 205 pounds, recently on The Ultimate Fighter Season 14. Also with the Bellator fighting system. Ladies and gentlemen, in the red corner, Daniel the Dragon Spawn. Referee Chip Snyder residing over the match.
Chip gonna give these guys the rules.
Okay, you guys are fighting for the Gladiators of the Cage light heavyweight belt. I want a clean, fair fight. I want you to obey me at all times. Any questions, red? Any questions, blue? Touch gloves, go back.
Here we go.
Daniel Spawn fought a guy that's currently on The Ultimate Fighter, isn't it? Josh Stansbury. Didn't he fight him? He fought him twice, and he has a 1-1 record with him.
And that's a fight that they both want to have and have that rubber match. Remember, this fight, guys, is for the 205-pound professional title in Gladiators of the Cage.
That's light heavyweight?
That is light heavyweight, correct, Dan? This is for the light heavyweight world championship. The winner of this can call themselves the 205-pound Gladiator champion of the world.
Both southpaws here. Let's take a note on that. And Daniel Spawn, he just landed a nice leg kick on Morrow. And this is actually surprising for Morrow. He's kind of starting slow. He's usually right off the get. I mean, he usually starts throwing hands right away.
Morrow has shown a lot of power. He seems to load up on a lot of his punches and throw a lot with power. Spawn seems to be maybe a little more crisper of a striker and a little more elusive, mixing his game up a little bit more. But these guys at 205 pounds, these are big 205ers. I mean, these are big guys. They could both fight heavyweight, and I believe at points have fought heavyweight.
I think Morrow's last fight was at heavyweight.
Against Rumsey, correct. And so these guys could really go even up a weight class, but here they want this 205-pound belt. We want to thank Morrow. He come in on a little short notice, taking the replacement, and always, you know, if you need somebody to fight, Morrow's going to fight. You could call him up and say, I have a fight for you tomorrow. He'd take it.
I don't know why you would say that. Yeah, with a 24-20-1 record, he seems to be like a little hesitant to fight.
I'm pretty sure you could call him up at 3 in the morning and say, hey, would you like to fight at 4:30 this morning? And he would probably grab his gear, come down, and be like, let's do this. He is the epitome.
I'll pass on that.
Yeah, he's the epitome of a fighter. I love his style. Good job by Spawn tying him up. Morrow staying in close, trying to get some head control and get a little positioning. Spawn doing a good job staying close, keeping his head tucked to the body of Morrow so those elbows aren't really much effect.
As you see, Morrow is throwing those elbows. It's good he's taking advantage of that.
Beautiful
Picks him
shot
up
by
with a
Spawn.
nice takedown.
Lots of strength there. Spawn showing his power and his takedown ability. And notice how he circled him and got Morrow's head facing the cage, away from the cage. That way Morrow's not able to get his head up there or push off the cage. He's got him in the other direction, and he wants to start working some ground and pound, it appears. A lot of times you can use that cage as a great weapon, and sometimes you can use it as, it becomes your greatest enemy, because it allows your opponent to maybe scoot his butt up against that cage and get up easier. Some guys like to turn him away from the cage, some guys like to turn him towards the cage.
I'll thank you to leave my butt out of this conversation, but
What, in your experience, Rich, and with your training, how do you like to push the guy up against the cage and use that cage as pressure, or does it depend on the fighter you're fighting?
I personally, I would much rather push their neck against the cage, take their hips away.
also would affect their
It's a
breathing.
little
Wouldn't it?
bit-
Once your chin, put your chin on your own
Well, as soon
chest.
as you put your chin up there and you take the neck away, your hips go away, and you can't really move your hips too well. And I'm only saying that because I was also on the reverse end with my neck against there, and it's not pleasant.
Really rough to see
It leaves
that.
your face open very easily, too.
Maybe we get Charlie to do that to you later. I'd like to see that.
What,
Anyway.
Us wrestle against the cage?
Yes, yes.
He don't want that.
I'm a very fragile man anymore. I'm going home to my cat and my dog, and I'm going to bed.
Well, you're getting up there. You're getting up there in age. Interesting
Easy.
fact about Robert Morrow at 30 years old, he also has 5 kids.
Exactly. 5 kids,
He
and
has
he's a pro fighter.
5 kids.
That's a nice segue.
5 kids, 45 fights.
Spawn's
This is a
starting to-
busy human being.
Yeah, Spawn's starting to get through on some big punches.
Oh.
Morrow needs to start working and do exactly what he's doing. He needs to create space here. He cannot keep taking these shots. Spawn's a big boy at 205, really tall, a lot of power, and he has those long legs, so he can really reach into those punches and get a lot of weight down on those shots.
Well, Spawn's doing a nice job as he's standing, and for him to go in, he's not just going straight in because there's always those up kicks. He's pushing his hips forward first and then coming down with a punch.
Yeah. Less than 1 minute to go in round 1 of this light heavyweight title bout. It seems to be all Daniel Spawn controlling, positioning, and working some very effective ground and pound on Robert Morrow.
It looks like there's some blood. I can't tell from which because there's elbows being thrown. It looks like it's coming from Morrow, but I can't really tell at this moment.
And that positioning could be dripping off of Spawn on tomorrow, but I think you're right, too. You never know.
You never know.
Stand
It just,
corrected.
that's why it's so dangerous with elbows. It's just that quick. You could be cut open.
I like the fact that Morrow, even though he's on the bottom, is working those short elbows. Why not take advantage of, hey, if I can't get up, I'm going to hit you.
He's throwing
Oh.
nice elbows. Both of
They
them are
might be
taking
both
advantage.
big power from Spawn. He rocked
Spawn
him a
heard
couple
that 10
times.
seconds, and he just went off.
Well, it doesn't seem like there's much opening of the guard tomorrow, and what that means is, fight fans, most of you guys out there will already know, but when the man that's on the bottom crosses his ankles on the bottom around your back, that's called a closed guard. When he starts opening those legs up, he's generally looking for a sweep or to create distance or possibly a submission. Morrow seemed to be very content in closing that guard and riding that out. If I'm the fighter on top, that's a green light for me to start throwing some heavy leather from the top because I don't have to worry about those legs coming up for an arm bar or a triangle choke.
What if he's squeezing?
You know, it really...
Because your legs are stronger than your arms.
It is, and you know what? That's a very good point because most of the time your legs are around the hip area to control.
They start to get up into the side of those short ribs
you
or
start
whatever.
getting on those floating ribs, the short ribs, exactly right. You can cause a lot of pain,
It's
actually.
like a python. As you exhale,
very much so.
Squeeze, and there goes your air.
The thing about that, though, when you're on the guy, when you're on top, you usually can move your positioning and get to those legs down further on the hips just by moving forward or backward.
Or scoot up forward, further up, possibly if you have the room to do it.
Precisely. The whole key there is to keep your opponent on top, moving to try to create space and separation. Look for the submission or look for a chance to get up. Morrow was a little too content for me to lay there and take the punches. I did like the fact, though, that he at least threw his own arsenal of elbows from the bottom.
I'm looking here for a little more stand-up, a little more hands being thrown from Robert Morrow.
Well, my question being also, if you're in the corner, Rich, and you're talking to Spawn, are you going to tell him to do anything different than that first round or try to take the fight to the ground again? Spawn's calling him in.
I like that. He called him right back.
I think he's baiting him to get that takedown. I think he wants him to take a step in, and he's going to try to shoot as soon as he does it.
Absolutely. Daniel Spawn did a nice job. Last one, he was mixing in some punches and some kicks, closed the distance, had a big takedown, and just rode it out the whole time. I see him doing the same thing.
I think Mario's saying, I'm standing right here in the middle. You come back to me, but I understand. I'll thank you to not do that.
Much respect for wanting to keep it in the middle because
Right.
it is exciting, but they're both trying to just bait each other into doing what they want to do.
Human chess match, once again.
Game plan. It's all about game plans.
Little note here. Take a look at Morrow on your left in the green trunks. Take a look how flat-footed he's standing. See how he's not on the balls of his foot?
Oh,
big shot!
And he's not on the balls of his feet anymore. His feet at all.
And there's what I'm talking about. He got flat-footed. He lost his movement. And exactly at that point, that's when Spawn capitalized. And that's why footwork is so imperative and so important. And right on cue there, he come over there. If I'm in the corner, I'm doing the exact same thing. Look, his footwork is flat, meaning he's loading up. He wants to throw a power shot, but he doesn't have the mobility now to slip the punches. And Spawn timed it perfectly. He was waiting to do that, threw that big overhand, and now is the 205-pound champion in Gladiators of the Cage. Congratulations, Daniel Spawn.
What a tough match for Robert Morrow to walk into. And like you just said, Daniel Spawn was just capitalizing on just one mistake.
Let's take a look at this replay. Once again, brought to you by Maestro's Barbershop, and watch this powerful left hand drops Morrow completely. He's really out of it. And then look how fast Chip come in there. Beautiful job of coming in there and stopping that fight. And great work by Spawn, timing that with a 1-2. Morrow got flat-footed, and that's all it took. Spawn with a quick, straight right, overhand left, KO, and man, whew, that's a contender for KO of the night.
That is definitely a contender. We're seeing some knockouts today. It's going to be a really hard to judge on which one.
What an exciting night of fights. What an exciting night of fights so far. And just to think we have two big fights, our co-main event and our main event coming up. And we've all been very much waiting for the co-main event and the welcoming back of our native son, Chris Dempsey, as he journeyed the world of mixed martial arts in his back. But I think we are ready for the official announcement of our new light heavyweight champion. Let's go to Frank Murgy.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 104 of the second round, by TKO the winner, and the new Gladiators of the Cage light heavyweight champion, Daniel the Dragon Spawn. Jessica and Emily, you have the belt. Dan Bogan, you have the mic.
Thank you, Frank.
I'll get him.
Daniel the Dragon Spawn. Let them put the hardware on you first, sir. And Smokin' Jim Frazier said you didn't have one-punch knockout power. Really? No, I'm just teasing you. Congratulations. One punch, that's all it took.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously not new to that, but at the same time, you know, I love it every time. And I want to first off thank Rob Morrow for stepping in here and taking this on short notice. Everybody give him a round of applause, please. Without him, I wouldn't have had a fight tonight. Also, I want to thank Josh Williams, my head coach. He was there the whole time for this with me. I want to thank Lance Phillips. He's one of my main training partners. Great guy. He's coming up in the ranks. You watch for him. Rick Spencer, old man. He's like a dad to me, and I love hanging out with him, and I'm glad he was in the corner for me this time. My wife, everybody right up there. Jeff Ferguson, all those guys right up there. John Ferguson, Rachel, Sadie. She's my little sister by blood and marriage to me. So, Kyle, you too.
Congratulations, your new champion, Daniel the Dragon Spawn. Charlie and Rich, let's go back to you.
You see Daniel there with the owner of Gladiators of the Cage, one of the few glimpses we get. Robert Joseph getting a picture there. What a performance by Daniel Spawn, coming in there and setting the house on fire. Perfect timing, perfect setup, and perfect execution leads to a new champion in the Gladiators of the Cage. Our light heavyweight champion, congratulations, Daniel Spawn. Let's get one more word for our sponsors so we can get back to the action.
Sometimes people will really surprise you by working harder than you ever expected to really help you when you need it the most. Flaherty Fardo, no one will work harder to help you.
Seconds into the match, he hit him with a hard right, deep sprawl. He's got that neck. He's out.
I see.
He completely
Oh, that was amazing.
choked.
Listen to the crowd here at Stage AE.
The crowd comes to life here because this is Dempsey who guard. He's probably more or less just using her as a tip.
The inaugural season, this is it. You know, this is we're building it from the ground up, and this is literally the birthplace of the Pittsburgh Thunderbirds.
Welcome back. Gladiators of the Cage 21 has not disappointed. Concerned if it's going to live up to the hype, because on paper this card looked absolutely stellar. And boy, has it lived up to the card, guys.
And then some.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we finally get to the co-main event. This house is packed. The crowd is ramped up. They're ready to go. They're ready to see the man back after his tour in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, Chris Dempsey. Let's go to the tail of the tape and check it out. Chris Dempsey, 28 years old, UFC veteran. He's 5'11" tall, 185 pounds. Has an impressive professional record of 11-4. But on the other side, Adam Hunter, 32 years of age, same exact height at 5'11" and same weight at 185. He's also compiled a 6-1 record in his professional career. A very, very worthy opponent of Chris Dempsey. This year could steal the show tonight, and I guarantee you, you don't want to blink. These guys are come to bring it every time, and both are looking to make a major statement here tonight.
Would you say that there's two main events today?
This is the co-main event. I would call it a double main event, and I can't wait any longer. Let's get this underway. Let's go to Frank Murgy and get these guys inside the cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our co-main event. Let's bring into the cage, to the blue corner, Adam Hunter.
The hell was that? Excuse me.
Making his way cage side, 6-1 professional fighter in our co-main event of the evening in the 185-pound division, Adam Hunter. Man, this guy looks like he could have just walked off the set of a Viking movie.
The sound of the music, I thought there was a sound malfunction. It's just,
It's
man,
a
what
deep
neat
rumble.
music. Something to get him pumped up. And this is Adam the Head Hunter. He's coming off a 5-fight win streak right
6-1
now, all
record.
by stoppage.
6-1. That's Chris Dempsey's not coming back against the Shield by any means. 6-1. This is going to be good. This place is going to go insane when Chris Dempsey comes out.
I agree. Adam
This
Hunter,
guy's intimidating. I'm a little frightened just listening to this music.
Yeah, the guy I would least like to fight probably has the nickname the Head Hunter.
I believe he's fighting out of Ontario, Canada for Team Ascension.
Yes.
Team
There's a
Ascension
couple
has
fighters.
been very, very successful when they've come down here to Gladiators. of the
Yes,
King.
you had
Especially
Vladimir,
Rock
there's a
Roxino,
couple
there were
other
2 or 3.
ones.
They came, they won, took belts, and went back to Canada.
Exactly.
They're tough.
He's currently right now the Elite 1 middleweight champion.
Wow.
Do you think he is related in any way to the professional wrestling team, the Headhunters?
Looking at him, I wouldn't be a little bit surprised. And you know what? You can't teach that.
The music, man, really, if I'm sitting
this
there.
is what I like.
Yeah, if I'm sitting there in the back and I'm listening to this.
I'm
music,
intimidated.
Yeah, right. You know, I'm glad you guys are here. If I need a hug or somebody to protect me, at least I can run fast, you know?
Well, you don't got to be faster than everybody. You're just going to be faster than me is what you're saying. You're going to lay me out to dry with this guy.
Well, that's why you're here, Dan. We need somebody to help us. Adam Hunter, ready to go. And now listen to this place erupt.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring into the red corner, Chris Dempsey.
Chris Dempsey, no stranger to big fights. Can you tell us a little bit about Chris Dempsey? I understand that it's self-explanatory.
Yeah, he really is. And Dan, I think you got to spend a lot of time with him over time, you know, working all the shows with him. And have you become close with Chris?
Not real close. I mean, we're in touch. We know each other. I irritate him by saying, call him every time I see him, I'll go, the champ is here. Of course, I did it to him tonight. He said, but I'm not a champ. I told him, you're always a champ. It's been almost, in a month, it will have been 2 years since we've seen Chris Dempsey at a Gladiators in a Cage event competing. It's great to have him back. He's been one of our most popular fighters. It's so awesome having him back here with us. He could have went anywhere. The fact that he stayed loyal and came back to Gladiators in the Cage, I'm sure that Robert Joseph and that crew appreciate it, and these fans are going to show some appreciation.
Well, before his UFC journey, he was also the former Gladiators of the Cage middleweight champion. Before
he had 2 belts here, I believe, in 2 different divisions.
Did he have 205 and he had the 185,
I believe so, yes.
correct?
Yes.
He was champ.
He was champ.
And I remember that the chants in Pittsburgh, you'd hear, Dempsey. Now, hopefully, I don't know if they'll do it today or not.
And back to Frank Murgy for the official introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our 9th bout of the night. It's a professional bout, and it is our co-main event. Can you dig it? Let me hear you, folks. We are at Stage AE on the North Shore of Pittsburgh. All fights are sanctioned by the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission. This is a 185-pound middleweight bout, 3 5-minute rounds. Fighting out of Ottawa Academy of Martial Arts, with a record of 6-1, weighing 185 pounds out of the blue corner, Adam Hunter. Fighting out of the Mat Factory with a record of 11-4, UFC veteran, 185 pounds in the red corner, Chris Dempsey. Mr. Chip Snyder, referee presiding over the action.
Okay, guys, you've earned the right to be the co-main event. Show these people why.
And this fight is brought to you by one of our longest and most
gentlemen, here we
loyal
go.
sponsors,
Sir, you ready?
Stiller
Sir, you
Motorsports.
ready? Come on, let's go.
Thanks again, Stiller Motorsports. We are underway. Co-main event of the evening. Chris Dempsey making his return to Pittsburgh.
Chris is usually a very patient fighter.
Oh, he's got a quick choke already.
He may not need to be
Dempsey's got
tonight.
that choke fast. Did you see how quick he locked that on? Hunter's doing a good job defending, though. But he's really cranking on that neck of Hunter. Now Dempsey's going headhunting on the headhunter.
Oh.
Dempsey has really strong wrestling coming out of Mat Factory.
Ooh.
Nice
vicious
leg kick.
No, I love that he attacked the inside of the leg kick to take the balance away from Dempsey.
Adam Hunter has a real long jab.
In Dempsey's very first match with the UFC.
Oh,
he lost.
Dempsey's out! Dempsey's out! It's that quick!
It's over.
Sit there,
Hunter
sit
was
still.
able to catch him and
Didn't
he's
even
out.
see what happened.
Sit still.
Wow, a stunned crowd.
Sit
It
still,
went
sit still.
absolutely
Just stay right there for
silent.
1 second. Stay
The
right there.
headhunter took him out that
It
fast.
didn't even look like he hit him. He must have just clipped him just enough in the temple with that kick.
What a phenomenal, wow. Let's take a look. We're going to load up this replay here, hopefully in a moment. The headhunter truly is the headhunter.
4-0.
That was a he came out with those long jabs and his hard kicks, and then he went upstairs.
That is just not a catchy nickname. From far away, and this is not personality speaking or anything like that, or history of actions of anything, but he looks like Alexander Emelianenko from a far distance with that hair and the tattoos.
Well, it's a tattoo on the back.
Let's go to the replay right now. We got this loaded up. We have to see this.
Take much at all to zing it up, you know.
And Dempsey goes to duck, and it's just, I'm looking here. I don't see what happened yet.
I think it's this left kick. He throws a left high kick.
Oh my gosh.
Clips him right.
He just drops him. Look at Chip. He was almost in the way when that kick come up. It come out of nowhere off the front leg.
And he only punched, he hit him one time, and he knew he was out.
Dempsey, wow.
It just
Adam,
seemed like it just clipped his temple, and that was, shut it off.
That's such a rare case, because it wasn't Chip was out of place. It's just that front leg kick flew up so fast. And it was, it seemed like Dempsey was trying to change levels at the same time. But look at this stoic look that this Adam Hunter has. Has he made his stamp on Gladiators of the Cage tonight, or what, Rich?
He might have. This is his second promotion now. He holds the middleweight title. This is going to be a tough guy to run through right here. And
you could practically hear a pin drop when this fight happened.
I agree.
And
they probably heard us up here.
From our angle, we couldn't really see it, but on that replay, it was clear. He threw that front kick, and he just come up over the top, and he just caught Dempsey. And give all credit to Adam Hunter. What a true professional. He pulled away from that, and in no way was he looking to hit him with any more strikes needed, even before Chip could get in there. But I think we are ready for the official announcement of the winner of this fight here. Let's go back down to Frank Murgy.
Sir, Chris.
Thank you, Charlie and Rich.
Sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 40 seconds of the first round, the winner by knockout in the blue corner from the Ottawa Academy of Martial Arts, the Warhammer, Adam Hunter. Dan Bogan with the interview.
Thank you, Frank. Adam, I understand some people call you the headhunter. They ever wondered why? I think we found out tonight.
Oh yeah, no, it's funny. It's Warhammer, but you'd never guess how I got it.
Well, tell us.
Well, there's a tabletop miniature game called Warhammer, and before one fight, my car was standard. I had to drive through a whiteout snowstorm, like 2 hours to trade magic cards for Warhammer pieces, and then drive my ass another 2 hours to weigh-ins.
And it worked. Hey, there's got to be some people you want to thank. You Canadian guys are coming down, and even in previous GOTC events have been very, very successful. Who do you want to thank?
I want to thank my #1 sponsor, Marijuana for Trauma. It's a veteran company that was started to help veterans with PTSD. I want to thank Bizolver, Cinefrax, Society 4, my mother and father, Mike Fitz, Pat Cooligan, Jeff Harrison, Nick Castiglia, all the people at OAMA. I want to thank Chris Dempsey. I want to thank everybody that came here and the promoter. I always forget stuff, so I'm just going while I'm on a roll. But anyway, thank you very much for having us, and everyone have a good night.
Adam Hunter, you've silenced his hometown crowd. Congratulations, Adam Hunter.
Wow.
What a great. That was an that was a shocker, actually. It's not that not saying that I didn't see anything coming, but I didn't see the kick.
This is why I never try to predict who's going to win a fight, because there's so many ways to win a mixed martial arts match. And we was told it was Adam the headhunter, and now we hear he's the Warhammer. I'm sorry, Adam. You were the headhunter to me. Done. There is no other nickname.
I agree.
You are the headhunter. The Warhammer's cool. Keep it. Let your family call it to you, but you are the headhunter. What a wow. And he's got to be moved his way up into the rankings there, and I'm sure he would love to challenge for that 185-pound title. Wow. Well, let's regroup so we can get to the main event of the evening. Let's take a quick breather. Let's get a word from our sponsor, and then we're to the main event of the evening.
Sometimes people will really surprise you by working harder than you ever expected to really help you when you need it the most. Flaherty Fardo, no one will work harder to help you.
Our original location is in Beachview, which is a little neighborhood, which is part of Pittsburgh. And our second location we opened up in August of 2014, and it's located in downtown Carnegie. You know, our style is a New York style pizza, so it's a little thinner, chewier crust, which typically in Pittsburgh you find thicker pizza with a lot of cheese. Munch, who was an undercover reviewer for the Post-Gazette, reviewed us. And then at the end of the year, he picked us as one of the top pizza places in the city. And then so far this year, in 2015, we won Best Pizza and Best Hoagies for our area through the Tribune review. Our dough we make daily. We let it rise for at least 24 hours prior to using, which creates texture in the dough, which gives it the nice browning and the chewy crust. Our sauce, we use San Marzano tomatoes, which is one of the best that you can use. They're whole tomatoes that we crush down and use fresh basil in the sauce. And then our cheese we shred here at each location using a mix of provolone and mozzarella, and we use higher quality meats. But then we also sell pizza rolls, which we sell a couple hundred of those a day. Pizza in Pittsburgh is very personal, and people always get into big debates over it. And we feel if you give us a chance and you come out to try us, that we may become your favorite pizza shop.
We are at the moment now that we've all been waiting for. This place is packed out. So many people have come to see one man here on this card tonight. A lot of people come to see a lot of different people, but the main attraction, the main event of the evening for the title at 155 pounds in the lightweight division, Joey Holt is going against Michael Pope. And boy, I can't wait to see this. So let's go right to the tail of the tape so we can get the action on. Joey Holt, the fan favorite in our area. He's 28 years old. He's 5'9" tall. He weighs in at 155 pounds in the lightweight division. He has a professional mixed martial arts record of 7-2. He's got his hands full tonight with 26-year-old Michael Pope, who's 5'8", weighs in also at 155 pounds with a professional record of 5-1. These guys are even and they're ready to go. They've been chomping at the bit. They've been waiting all night. The hands have been taped. They've been sparring in the back, shadow boxing, and now the moment has come. The main event of the evening, Gladiators of the Cage 21, Pope versus Holt, is right now. Let's go to Frank Murgy to get this underway.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is our final bout of the evening. It is the main event. Let's bring into the blue corner, Michael Pope.
Sorry if I keep...
The music start, that can only mean one thing. The fighters are entering for our main event of the evening, and man, I can't wait to see Joey Holt go for this belt. Joey has been in limbo for a long time. Was going to main event the Gladiators of the Cage 20 show when one of the weirdest things that I've ever heard happen in the sport of mixed martial arts, there was a little bit of weight cutting mishap, and his fighter, the day before his fight, weighed in, made weight, and he was a little woozy, and he stumbles, he falls, and he hits his face and gets a cut. And he can't, the next day, he was fine with the weight cut, he was just a little woozy, but the cut, the abrasions on his face, he couldn't get cleared to fight. So at the last,
will not let you go in there with any fresh wounds.
Exactly right, and that happened. So literally minutes before the show, and even during the show as it starts, we didn't know if he was going to get the fight. So Joey Holt graciously sits back. His opponent, since then, was supposed to be the rematch, changes hands. They have to get another fight. So who do they bring in? They bring in Rinaldi. Rinaldi, who is going to be, and what a lot of people thought, the winner of the Holt-Rinaldi fight would make it and get into the Ultimate Fighting Championships, because these guys are this close knocking on the door. What happens? Rinaldi gets called up by the Ultimate Fighting Championships and fought this past Sunday.
He lost too, but he did a good job, but he lost.
Making his debut. So let's get our next fighter in the cage and we'll continue.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring into the cage to the red corner, Joey Holt.
And here we go. Fireworks are gonna start. We've got the fan local hero, Joey Holt. Now, as we has mentioned, Joey goes through two guys on short notice. I want to make this very, very clear. Joey Holt would not have another fight this evening if it wasn't for a true fighter like Michael Pope on short notice stepping up, and another guy that did that on this card tonight, and we even heard his opponent, Daniel Swan, thank him, was Rob Morrow. Could you imagine how disheartening and disappointing it would be that two fights, that your last show you don't get to fight on the 20th edition of Gladiators of the Cage, and then you're supposed to fight that same opponent on 21. He's not there, he pulls out. Rinaldi's your new opponent, he gets into the UFC, and now you're on your third opponent, but Michael Pope is a true professional, steps up, and now thanks to him, we have Joey Holt, Michael Pope, 155-pound title fight, and it's right now.
Joey Holt fights for Team Impact. If that doesn't sound familiar, at East Liverpool, Ohio, his teammate is Josh Stansberry, who is right now on Tough.
Wow. He's currently on the Ultimate Fighter.
He is currently on the Ultimate Fighter with Johanna and Dedelia.
And it just shows you the depths of talent that is in this organization. And I'll be quite honest with you, this just isn't saying it. I used to kind of try to keep track on how many fighters in the Ultimate Fighting Championships and have went to the Ultimate Fighting Championship has used Gladiators of the Cage as that springboard and that platform to get to the next level of the highest league in the world for mixed martial arts. But I honestly have quit keeping track because so many fighters have gained national recognition.
We've
We
had
are on
fighters
the UFC's radar.
lose fights and still get called up because you put on a good show. You don't even have to win. It helps. It very much helps. And fight promoters hate when fighters back out of fights. One of the best things, one of the times we'll say, God bless you, you have our blessings go, is when the UFC or Bellator, somebody, especially the UFC calls, when they call, you've got to let them go. That's why we're here.
We have Joey the Hitman Holt.
Man, does he look good, and did he look phenomenal on his last appearance in Gladiators of the Cage. Let's get these guys introduced because I want to see this action here. Let's get the ring announcer, Frank Murgy. Where are you? Let's get this going.
We can't wait any longer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening, our final bout. It's a professional bout. These bouts are approved and sanctioned by the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission. Commissioner at ringside, Rick Steigerwald. Our judges for this evening, Todd Kruska, Kevin Armstrong, Andrew Atkins, and Paul Reinger. Referee Chip Snyder. With us all night, timekeeper Stephen Kruth. Physician at ringside, Dr. Lawrence Biskin. A quick happy birthday to Scott Benton, our GM and managing partner of Gladiators of the Cage. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a title fight for the Gladiators of the Cage vacant 155-pound lightweight title. Jessica and Emily with the belt. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a great night here tonight at Stage AE on Pittsburgh's North Shore. Are you not entertained, ladies and gentlemen? Are you not entertained? Fighting out of Ludus MMA in Jacksonville, Florida with a record of 5-1. Weighing in at 154 pounds, wearing black trunks in the blue corner, Michael Popzilla. Fighting out of Team Impact in East Liverpool, Ohio. In the black trunks with the blue trim, with a record of 7-2, weighing in at 155 pounds. In the red corner, Joey Hitman Holt.
Okay, gentlemen, you guys are the main event and fighting for a title. We went over the rules in the back. I expect you to fight clean and fair and obey me at all times. Any questions, Red? How about Blue? touch them and go back.
Boy, guys, I've been anticipating this one, and the wait is over. The 155-pound professional champion of the world in Gladiators of the Cage is going to be.
Sir, you ready? Come on, let's go.
Within 15 minutes.
Our main event is brought to us by Cut and Run Studios. That's our production today, and as it has been for quite a while, Jordan does an outstanding job. And hey, before it's over, I want to thank you both for welcoming me. Let's get to the action. Thank you both for being so hospitable.
Dan, we appreciate you being here. It's great to have you. You're a wealth of knowledge in the area of entertainment and sport, and we thank you for coming on up tonight. Here we go. We got Joey Holt, Michael Pope. Holt getting control of it early on, pushing some pressure up against the cage, and this is where Holt is very good, getting inside, working those dirty boxing and knees.
He works. His biggest advantage is he takes advantage of the body. He likes body shots, body head. He's also an undefeated professional boxer with 5 wins and 0 losses as well.
I did not know that.
He put on a stellar show last time.
I got to say this, the Ohio fans, East Liverpool, and even like when we've had Rob Hanna on our fights, the Ohio fans come out and support those Ohio fighters in Pennsylvania and Pittsburgh especially, in mass. Really got to appreciate those guys.
Absolutely.
And to the fight fan out there, if you're not really conditioned to what's going on here, maybe new to the sport, this is very strenuous, and these guys are really jockeying for position. And whoever hits the ground first, it could be very difficult. Joey doing a great job of prying up Pope, and Pope spending a lot of energy there and getting nothing out of it. And Joey Holt going right back into good head control and arm control. Good knee there, mixing it up.
Joey Holt did a nice job of taking advantage of that underhook, and as you've seen, he forced it up, turned the corner, got him against the cage.
Great change of levels by Pope. He might actually get this takedown. Holt's doing a really good job. Nice leg sweep, but look at how quickly Joey Holt puts his left hand on the back of the head of Pope, trying to push Pope down and use him as a springboard to pop himself back up. But Pope doing a great job of climbing up on Holt. Good pressure.
Pope is doing a very nice job. He did a nice job taking it down. He wants to fight to the ground. He don't want to throw hands with Joey the Hitman Holt. Popezilla's looking to take it to the ground, possibly finish him there.
I really wish I had a cool nickname. These guys are blowing it out of the water tonight.
Wow.
Popezilla.
Popezilla and the Hitman. It's like you got the Pope and you got the Hitman. Two opposite sides of the moral spectrum.
Pope's just relentless on these takedowns. He keeps driving against the fence. It's becoming a problem for Joey Holt, but he's doing a nice job. And what happens when you push on the back of the head like that?
Right, exactly. You know, you're pushing where the head goes, the body follows. And when you start pushing that guy's head down really low, you know, things happen and you just can't get up. You can't get his posture back up. So it's a very good job. And you're also using that to straighten out your arm and creating more pressure on your opponent. Joey's so relaxed, though. You literally seen him laying there with his opponent on top of him. And he literally stops, looks over at his corner for a few seconds, takes some direction, and then gets back up.
I wouldn't even necessarily, the two Pope's takedowns, I wouldn't even necessarily count them takedowns. He didn't really take control of Holt on the bottom. Holt got right back up.
For a quick Kimura, he gets
nice
out of it.
job. I think he just used the Kimura as just a defense, as a reversal tool.
I agree 100%. Flying knee just missed by Holt.
Both of these guys look to be in fantastic shape.
It's really showing that Pope does not want any distance. He does not want those hands to get loose from Joey Holt.
No, Joey Holt he's coming off a 4-fight win streak.
Joey's really cranking on the head here. I don't know if he has anything. Can't see the far side. Pope's reaching down to the ankle. It looks like he wants to pull that out again. And every time he does it, Joey's doing a good job of reaching under inside the arm and creating separation.
He's chipping away at those elbows, and Joey Holt's doing a nice job of spreading his feet against the cage. Pope doesn't want that to happen.
Nice takedown. Very good job of working through it and patience. You know, one of the things to me that you can really tell a professional is their patience, their ability to come through adversity and just wait for that right opportunity and that right move per se to open up and position that you can advance. Not forcing anything. Very key.
Well, right now, this is the first time Pope took him down and has control of Holt. Holt's not against the fence. Holt's doing a nice job, nice reversal, he gets up.
Snuck right out of it.
And look how quick Popezilla is to getting to Joey Holt. He just wants to smother him. It's very evident in this first round. He does not want Joey Holt to get any rhythm in striking whatsoever.
Joey's going to have fence marks on his back at this point.
Well, what Michael Pope's doing a nice job.
Afterwards.
Yes.
What he's doing a nice job doing is getting lower than Joey Holt's hips. It's all about the hips. If you drop below that level, it's easier to take him down, and he's making it happen right now.
You take that center of gravity away from him, I'm assuming.
Exactly
right. And that is why Dan the Brain
Bogan is
Maybe,
here.
maybe if we say that long enough, somebody will believe it. And I told him I'd pay him to say
Short
that.
time, gentlemen.
Michael Pope just relentless with these takedowns. He's just so quick to it. There's gonna have to be Joey Holt on this. In between rounds, I'm seeing the corner, like him, his corner telling him like, have to try to keep the distance, have to try to keep the distance. But it's hard for him to do that because Michael Pope's so relentless and he's just driving forward with his head down, going straight towards him. And Joey Holt backs against the fence, has to fight off of it. It's very exhausting.
Now, this may not look like there was a whole lot of action, but I bet that took a toll on both of those guys. It looked very fatiguing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say that Joey Holt looked a little more calm. Michael Pope was struggling for the takedowns over and over and over
Worked
again.
a little harder, but wasn't that productive until the last takedown. But then the hitman snuck right out of that.
Well, there's definitely, I don't think, any hidden
Game
no
plan
hidden
here.
game plan
Yeah.
right now. You know, the strategy seems very simple for Popezilla. Smother, get in close. Do not let Joey Holt move forward and get off on punches. And honestly, it's probably a very smart game plan because Joey has tremendous power and he's very good mixing up his striking. But let's see how Joey Holt operates on this and if he's just going to keep distance and how he's going to set up his striking. Very, very interesting here. We are ready to get underway. Round number 2 of this main event title fight in the lightweight division.
Sir, you ready? Sir, you ready? Come on, let's
Chip
fight.
Snyder calling him to action as we officially start round 2.
I'm looking to see Joey Holt pump a little more jabs, try to get the distance. He hit him with an overhand left.
Didn't stop him any, though. He
Unrelenting.
ran right
Nice
through it.
left hook. I had to shake him up a little bit.
You can see the quick head shake of Holt in frustration, knowing that I don't want back out here. I do like the fact that Holt's trying to get his back square up against the cage and try to use it to walk up. But Pope realizing that and jumping to the side control. Now this is very difficult once you start getting and lacing. If he can lace Joey Holt's leg down with both of his own legs, it's going to make it a lot more difficult for Holt to get up.
Well, could Holt take advantage and try to do a lockdown position from the bottom and try to get Michael Pope's hips away from him a little bit to create some distance?
That's exactly what I would do. Absolutely, Rich. That would be my game plan in that position.
Well, as you see Popezilla there, he's throwing some of the short shoulders in there. Nobody said you have to hit everybody with your fist, elbows, kicks, knees. You could use any part of your body except for headbutting. You can't necessarily headbutt anybody.
And it's just staying busy. You know, it's really keeping your opponent's mind from getting a strategy and a game plan back. If he's defending and being hit all over his body in every different angle, you're not thinking, oh, geez, I got to defend this. And it's kind of just making your opponent not get settled in to get that game plan to get out.
And at least you're doing something. If the other guy's not and you're throwing something, it doesn't have to be knockout punches. You're still making strikes.
It's all scoring.
Well, you're keeping busy, and the ref's going to keep it down there. And if you're not that busy, right now Pope wants to stay on the ground. There's a potential that Chip could stand it back up, but he's doing a nice job. He just got through Joey Holt's half guard, and he's getting in the side mount right now. Very dangerous position to be in.
Or sometimes it's like a judge looking at that might say, well, those weren't effective punches, but the other guy did nothing.
Exactly.
And apparently did nothing.
And if you're forced to give credit due and points, you're going to give
lesser
it
of evils.
Yes, exactly. Absolutely right. And right now, Joey Holt is having a very, very difficult time trying to get back to his feet. And, you know, we're 3 minutes to go in the second round.
It's a long time.
Yep, Popezilla has really done a good job of really stalemating all of Joey Holt's techniques because he's got him on his back. It's very hard to throw a power punch when you're flat on your back.
Same as when your head has nowhere to go, you cannot wind up.
Exactly. That's why he's throwing those short shoulders right into the chin of
They can
Joey
hurt.
Holt. It might not be doing damage, but it is scoring points right now. Now, if you're Joey Holt, he's trapped right now in this half guard position. What's the best way for him to get up right now and how to create space? Oh, nice
We
job.
hope
Chip
for Chip
Snyder
Snyder
just
to
didn't want
stand
to
you
see
up.
that anymore. He stood him right back up.
Joey
Holt comes there. He's throwing
I think
fists
Joey's
now.
had enough of being on the ground.
He threw an uppercut, waiting for him to change levels and try
another
to
one
shoot.
that missed.
Oh,
there they go.
Beautiful takedown by Popezilla. But Holt he is just letting him have it. He knows
He
it.
seemed to be frustrated with being down there. I don't think he likes being on that cage floor.
He's clearly frustrated. And as you see, he stood up. He didn't take any time at all. He's throwing big punches, and he actually rocked Pope a little
Make
bit
him
there.
pay for it. Make him pay for it. If he's going to hold you down, work those elbows. Make it as uncomfortable as possible for that guy on top of you.
those uppercuts had knuckle sandwich written right on them. Ooh, he missed on a couple, but that first one looked like he hit him.
He hit him hard with a nice uppercut and a left hook, actually.
He might have the logo of the Fight Glove on his face tomorrow.
But right now he's taking advantage right now, but Joey Holt needs to work his back against that cage. There's a mount position by
Holt's going to take it as get up. Great
Holt
job.
got him quick on that.
He was waiting for him to transition, and he exploded at the perfect timing. Excellent show, Joey Holt.
Look for him to. Joey Holt needs to change angles, get away from there, and try to keep his distance.
He's trying to throw this big uppercut. He's trying to time Popezilla on his shot when he changes levels, and he's keeping Popezilla honest. He's making him really double.
So what you're saying, even by missing, it's being defensive. He's not. I wouldn't want to come in if you're throwing them uppercuts.
Absolutely.
Well, Pope's hesitating now to take him down because of those uppercuts, because he sees that Holt's trying to time him.
Right.
You get hit with one of them, it's like rock'em sock'em robots. Your head's going to come up on your neck.
And Popezilla, his timing now, everything is off. It seems like he's, and you know what? Just when I was going to say Popezilla looked like he's getting a little bit fatigued, and I don't know if he's going to be able to keep that ferocious pace of takedowns. Joey Holt, it looks like, has taken a finger or thumb, probably like we talked about earlier with these gloves, to the eye.
Now, if this is a championship fight, is it still 3 5-minute rounds?
This is in Pennsylvania, yeah.
Okay,
yeah, it's
Pennsylvania.
3 rounds now. We've not yet to have a 5-round. The commissioners like to keep it 3 rounds in Pennsylvania.
I would love to see this 5 rounds.
Yeah, well, you know what? It would probably also alter the style and the pace of the fights. It might make
different strategy.
Yeah, it might make Popezilla be a little less aggressive, because it looks like he's really already starting to suck some deep air, and this could actually be a benefit that the finger in the eye that actually stopped it. Not saying he did it purposely, but it's giving him time now to recover.
It is definitely giving him time to recover, and Holt was right there, was just taking advantage of a little bit of him being so tired from the relentless takedowns over and over again. Pope was keeping his distance, and that's what Joey Holt wants. That's his game plan. He wants to throw his hands. He wants to take advantage of it.
It looks like we may be getting something in the mouthpiece to Joey Holt, which means the action may be back on here. Oh, no, they're cutting the tape off the glove. It looked like there was some excess tape. Chip Snyder doing a good job getting that cleared up. Looks like Joey Holt is bouncing around, light on his feet, ready to get some action. Chip calls it back, and here we're back underway with 45 seconds remaining. Holt goes
for the hands. Nice
Holt
kick.
is headhunting now. He wants to end this.
Oh!
Still hit him in the ribs with that.
And there's Hope with that unrelenting takedown attack on Joey Holt. Seems like he scouted Joey very, very well and has the technique to apply to make it work.
Well, Joey Holt was doing a nice job trying to mix in some kicks, and Pope just timed a kick at the perfect time and just closed the distance real fast, took him down.
We're winding through the second round here in this fight. We're going to be here in the clicker here, 10 seconds remaining, and this second round is going to end the same. And now Popezilla throwing a flurry of punches, not doing a lot of damage, but every one of them scoring points in the judges' eyes.
Joey Holt was also busy on the bottom, two throwing punches. He's throwing that right hand fast.
Man.
I think if Joey catches him on one of these, it's going to be over quick. If he doesn't, it's not going to go well for Joey, I don't think.
Well, I think it's to the point now in this third round, Joey Holt has to take every opportunity, but also take opportunities where he's not going to end up on his back. And that's easier said than done against Popezilla.
Absolutely.
We see the lovely Emily, our ring card girl, last round of this main event title fight, Rich.
It's clear to what both teams wants to do. Pope's corner right now. Hey, continue what you're doing, drive in, take him down. Joey Holt, keep your distance, throw punches, try to stop that takedown.
What I was going to say, this fight is brought to us by Cut and Run. If you want to see some of our archive video, go to YouTube. Also like Gladiators of the Cage on Facebook, but all our archive videos, most of them were Cut and Run production too. An outstanding job. YouTube, go to place also to scout other fighters that have fought for us. If you've got an opponent coming up, or just fighters you like, you want to see some of their past fights.
Absolutely.
Here we go. The last fight, the last round.
This is for all the marbles. This is for the lightweight title, the prestigious Gladiators of the Cage 155 title, and the launching point to get national recognition in the big shows is right here and right now. The UFC, I promise you, is watching this.
Holt looking for a wrist. He's looking to grab a wrist. Pope does a nice job, takes both legs, takes him down.
Joey Holt finding himself in that same position.
I think Popezilla knows that Joey doesn't like being there.
No, and it's making it clear, too, because you can see the frustration in Joey's face.
And he keeps going right back and putting him back down there.
I don't blame him at all.
Well, remember, guys, records don't make fights, styles make fights. And, you know, you find that guy who is your kryptonite, and he exposes your weakness. That's why this is called mixed martial arts. It's not boxing. It's not kickboxing. It's not jiu-jitsu. You've got to be fluent and understand all aspects of martial arts to make this happen. And he may have exposed a weakness in Joey Holt's game that other people are going to be watching.
That is true. Styles do make fights, and everybody has a kryptonite, no matter what kind of fighter it is. Maybe you haven't found them yet, but it's out there somewhere. There's always somebody out there. And as you see right now, Pope, he's doing the same thing he did the last 2 rounds. He's controlling it on the ground, taking advantage of some stuff. Some strikes. I have a feeling Chip Snyder's going to stand it up here very shortly.
I would think so, because honestly, these aren't very dangerous strikes. He's not in a mounted position. This is the 3rd round of the title fight. And once again, great job. And now this is going to be very interesting, seeing Popezilla. And now Joey Holt already clearing one leg and getting in half guard. So now he's going to be able to drop elbows and punches. This is what we need to see. And how much gas is still left in the tank of Popezilla.
Well, there's still 3 minutes left. Now think of it, that's a whole entire
Full
amateur
mount.
fight. Full mount for Holt.
Holt's got
he
his
gets
back.
his hooks.
Great scramble, though, by
And then
Popezilla.
back up.
It goes
I'm missing
right
that
back
left
in
hook.
for a hard single. Joey has to defend this. He has to spread those hips wide. And another beautiful sweep by Popezilla, and he drags him back down. He's like a crocodile. When he gets a hold of you, he just rolls and
The
takes you
death
right
roll.
under with you.
Absolutely. Now, Joey Holt, he might be looking for another reversal. He needs another reversal to take advantage of it, and he needs to try to stand up.
That would be a little harder, I would think, up against the cage, would it not? Because last time it was a little bit more into the center of the cage.
To stand up, it makes it a tiny bit easier depending on where your
push off
your
against
back
it.
position
Good
is.
point. I hadn't thought of it that
as long
way.
as your head's not against the bottom of the cage.
Like it is now.
Like it is now. Now, Michael Pope, he's good.
Nice,
Chip
good
Snyder
job.
stands it up. He wants to see it standing. I know Joey Holt says this is what he wants.
Popezilla takes a deep breath. Notice
He's
Joey.
still taking a deep breath.
Joey's big shot by Joey Holt. He's backing him up. He's still working that uppercut to keep him honest. Popezilla cannot take a sloppy shot while Joey's throwing those kind of uppercuts.
Joey's
big
taking
right
big
hand.
punches.
Oh,
Big
that's
right
another
hand.
right hand.
He's got another
He's
straight
rocked
right.
Popezilla. He's going in. Joey smells blood. Big left hand. He's got to pour it
Another
on.
right hand.
Another right. Chip's
Right
coming
hand.
close. Joey's working hard.
Left hand, right
Another.
hand.
Oh, he rocked him
Right
again.
hand. How's he still standing? Another right hand.
He's got to finish. He's got to pour
Chip
over.
get one.
Chip's
Chip
got
get
it.
it. That's it.
Joey Holt is your new lightweight champion of the world.
Comeback win from Joey Holt. That was incredible. That's what he's been waiting for the whole match, was just to get some distance.
Unbelievable. What an uncanny performance by Joey Holt, gritting it out. And then late in the 3rd round, taking over with a dominant display of striking. What an effort by Popezilla.
That showed great heart from Joey Holt.
Unbelievable. Joey Holt has now captured the belt that has so long eluded him. And what a dominant 3rd round ending performance. That's all it takes is 1 minute. 1 minute of a 15-minute fight changes
That's it.
everything.
That's
and
it.
Joey Holt outlasted and as a professional stayed composed, smelled the blood in the water, and he is a finisher, Rich.
Now, I want to know how Michael Pope was still standing. I mean, Holt was landing straight rights, left hooks, straight rights, left hooks over and over again.
Us, we are back looking live down at the cage. These guys are going crazy.
This
We
is
got
nuts.
fans attacking us here at the booth. This place has erupted. We are so happy to see Joey Holt finally capture his title. What a great following, bringing all of his fans from Ohio right up here into his 2nd home in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We're stoked to see it, and what a great performance. You see Josh Stansberry there, his corner man, who is currently, as we mentioned, on the Ultimate Fighter house, working his way in, and hopefully we see great things from him
This
in
is
the
his
near
second
future.
his second round to go. He hurt his knee the first time he went out there.
Yep.
Now Joey Holt, that just showed great heart and determination. Michael Pope, that was a tough fight for Joey Holt, and he pulled through. Michael Pope just got a little tired.
Could you script a better ending for Joey Holt? That fight was not going as planned,
No.
but it shows what kind of mindset, of professional mindset Joey Holt has. Not giving up, doing what he needed to do, not getting frustrated, not making stupid mistakes, not trying to pressure things, but taking the right steps and waiting for his opportunity and then capitalizing on his opponent who is tired. You saw the spring in the step slowly leaving Popezilla, and then you saw the tide starting to turn, and it just took one of those thunderous hands to really land on Pope, and Pope lost all signs of where he was, and Joey Holt smelled the blood and went after it. Let's go down to our ring announcer for the official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me hear you. Joey wants to hear you. What a great night of fights. At 3:39 of round 3, the winner by TKO in the red corner, and the new lightweight champion, Gladiators of the Cage, Joey Holt. Holt. Jessica and Emily will present the belt. Dan Bogan will present the interview.
Thank you, Frank. Hitman Holt, it's been a long time coming to get you into this cage again. A lot of fighters have been supposed to have been fighting you. Finally, Popezilla stepped up. You didn't seem very comfortable on the ground, and you showed it, and you put an end to this with some serious plunder. Who do you want to thank? What do you got to say about this fight?
I mean, I want to thank all my friends, family, Gladiators of the Cage, getting Pope to come in here. I mean, that kid's tough. He came in here in 3 weeks' notice. Tough ground game. It ain't that my ground game's bad, his is that good. So I got to give him all the props in the world, but it only takes one, baby.
You hit him with quite a few. He actually, I was surprised he stayed up as long as he did. How about any of your sponsors, any other people you want to fight from your camp?
I mean, I want to thank Mass-Suit, Mojo Foundation, LB Donuts, ATA Martial Arts, Get Mean, you know, everybody down the Impact Fight Team, everybody, man. Josh Stansberry, Kyle, John Arnett, my man Don Mazzata. Catalina wasn't even in my corner. He's telling me shit to do. That's my man. So, and all my family, man. East Liverpool, we're going to the top, baby. We're going to the top. I'm trying to tell you, that shows I don't got no quit in me. If there's 1 second left, I'm coming.
Hey, you're Ohio fans. So we got a lot of Ohio fighters come here. The Ohio fans really support their Ohio fighters and come here to Pittsburgh religiously. The Buckeye Brigade, all you guys. You are very, very awesome. You Ohio fight fans, you support your Ohio fighters.
We want the UFC, baby. Come get me. I need it. I need competition like that. Let's go.
You've got it. Joey the Hitman Holt. There you go.
Thank you, Dan Bogan, Pittsburgh Sportsline Hall of Famer, my partner tonight. Thank you to Charlie and Rich. Thank you to everybody here at Gladiators of the Cage, Stage AE on the North Shore. Robert Joseph, Scott Benton, thank you very much. Thank you all for having me. I am Frank Murgy. We hope you come back. We thank you for coming out. And we will see you next time for the Gladiator of the Cage 22. Good night and drive safe.
What a way to end a phenomenal night of fights.
Wow.
This card lived up to the hype every bit. First off, want to congratulate all 3 new champions. Our amateur champion in the advanced rules, Jonas Rubiano, taking over the 135-pound division with a stellar performance. Then we moved up into Daniel Spawn, showing why he was on the Ultimate Fighter, why he fought in Bellator with just a thunderous knockout over Robert Morrow. And then in the main event of the evening, Joey Holt showing every accolade of a professional, telling the UFC, I'm ready, captures the 155-pound professional title. And tonight, we have the submission of the night and the knockout of the night. First off, we're gonna go to the knockout of the night. Winner knockout of the night.
I'm waiting.
Here we go.
I'm waiting.
Robert Morrow versus Daniel Spawn. Morrow gets a little flat-footed. Daniel Spawn, 1-2 power. Good night.
You called that too when you just seconds before you had mentioned it. Look, he's flat-footed.
Daniel Spawn takes advantage, takes the knockout, and then we're going to our submission of the night. We had a couple really nice chokes. We had some really good knockouts. The second, though, we had to choose as the submission of the night, comma worthy in a back and forth battle against Bilica, and he ends up getting the submission master himself with his own submission, securing the rear naked choke and getting the tap with only 13 seconds remaining in round number 2. What a night of fights. I can't tell you how impressed I am at each show when you think it can't get any better. It can't. They keep pushing the envelope. Gladiators of the Cage, we want to thank you for having us. Thank you for allowing us into your home this evening and watching us. Visit us on live stream Pittsburgh to see some of our old shows and YouTube. Stay tuned for the release date, Gladiators of the Cage 22, right around the corner. Once again, want to thank Robert Joseph, Gladiators of the Cage, Cut and Run Studios. Excellent job. I also want to thank my co-host, Dan the Brain Bogan.
Thank you for having
Richard
me.
Schleihoff.
It's been a pleasure.
Great job as usual.
Oh, yeah.
And we are signing off. We're out. Pittsburgh, Stage AE. See you next time.
Have a good night.